Possible is easy when you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Markle with Transmission Doctor and Auto Care in Alachua. Transmission Doctor is a full-service car care facility, from belts and hoses to major mechanical repairs, including manufacturer's recommended maintenance. If you have car repairs you've been putting off or scheduled maintenance due on your vehicle, give us a call and one of our friendly service advisors will be glad to schedule you an appointment. Located directly behind Radiant Credit Union, just off Highway 441 in Alachua. Transmission Doctor, exceeding expectations in automotive care.
It'll never happen to me. I'll never need help. That's what every boater thinks. But then one day, you do need help, and you have no way of getting it because you thought having an emergency locator beacon was unnecessary. You're wrong. Emergency locator beacons are effective, affordable, and they save lives. Seriously. If not for you, do it for them.
Learn more about emergency locator beacons at myfwc.com. Brought to you by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Skies are mostly sunny this hour and temperatures continue to warm. We'll get to the mid-70s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows near 50 to start off our weekend. Tomorrow, starting out mostly sunny, but you'll notice increasing clouds during the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s. We'll start off our Sunday morning near 60. High Sunday afternoon near 80 with increasing clouds and a chance for showers. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
WRUF Sports Center.
Gators men's golf hosts the Gators Invitational this weekend. Senior Matthew Kress weighs in on playing complete golf.
We also know that, when we play our best, we're pretty hard to beat. So that's always a big confidence builder that we've already kind of established out of what we can do when we're all playing good. And I still don't think we've actually, played all our complete best golf yet.
The Gators will be playing 36 holes tomorrow and 18 more on Sunday. 14th ranked Florida Gators men's basketball has a big game this weekend against the 25th ranked Kentucky Wildcats. The battle for first place in the SEC begins at 3 tomorrow. 5th ranked Florida Gators gymnastics faces off against 1st ranked Oklahoma. That meet begins tonight at 6:45.
Since I was a tiny boy, I don't want no candy, I don't need no thought. I took a stick and an old coffee can, I bang it all to
Last call for phone calls, what we learned, what's in store for next week. Also, this day in sports history, we got fondue, and Dylan and Weeks, our cameraman, did a great job prepping for chocolate fondue. We have a fondue fountain there with strawberries and apples, and we also have some steak there as well. So great stuff. I didn't know I needed fondue today. I just came in and didn't realize it, but I'm glad I have my fondue today.
You never know.
Fun.
God.
It's so much fondue. I didn't raise my hand.
Exactly.
I didn't either, technically.
And then you step on each other, and then nobody heard anything.
All right, Todd, you go first.
It's so much fun, too.
Thank you, Todd. That was worth jumping in. All right. Do you want to do your Valentine's Day?
We could.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I got Hanky Pankovitz. Remember Jim Pankovitz from the Astros?
I do not.
You do not. Mark Bolger for the excited ones. Fred Couples, Dory Jackson, Romantic Gabriel, Riddick Bow and Arrow, Evan Fornicate, as opposed to Evan Fournier, Happy Hairston, Jerry Jewelry, Lee Lacey, Dickie Thong, Lingerie Allen, Andrew Lucky, Passion Richardson, Romeo Cornell, Smoochie Wallace. We've got Brian Wu, like wooing somebody over. We've got, what do we got here? James Lights Out Tony, Tim Witherspooning, Bob Huggins, James Harden, Rhonda Arousey, and that's just some of those.
All righty.
Then they start getting a little trickier for what
Yeah,
can
that's
be aired or
probably, we shouldn't do that. Okay. Because Paul's not here. Usually it goes through him.
And then I just had two others because I always joke about what I'm going to get or not get for Valentine's Day. And if it doesn't work out, there's always Hope Solo and Bill Self. You do what you got to do.
I know. Thank you, Todd. How about this day in sports history? Let's see. Let me see. Frank Selvey scored 100 points. Furman beat Newberry College in 1954. Julius Erving, playing in his first NBA All-Star game, had 30 and 12 and won the MVP. 1980, the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid opened up. 1995, the Yukon men's team is number one, joining the Yukon women number one. That's the first time teams from the same school ranked number one in both men and women's basketball polls.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
Brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the DP show. Also on this day, 2022, the Rams beat the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Cooper Kupp named MVP. Let's see. Roy in San Antonio. Hi, Roy. What's on your mind?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Valentine's weekend for everybody out there, and also to my wife, April. I have the solution for the All-Star game. I mean, this is going to be the one to do it. Have the All-Stars play the Harlem Globetrotters.
And why would we do that?
Because it'd be interesting who wins.
Okay. All right. I would say the NBA would win. If the All-Stars were that, or the Globetrotters were that good, they'd be playing in the NBA. But, there's some former NBA players. Yes, Dylan?
That's sort of like a Olympic flag football team versus NFL All-Star team in flag football. I think.
That one's different.
Is it?
Because if you have guys who play flag football, like I would love to see a flag football team versus, a NFL flag football team. I think it'd be a lot more competitive than you think. Yes, Marvin.
Dylan and I talked to Will Anderson Jr. during the Pro Bowl practice, and we asked him about flag football, and we would kill them.
Yeah, not even close.
He had no confidence in the Olympic flag football team against NFL players, especially Pro Bowlers.
All right.
Let's set it up.
Yeah, well, they're probably going to do it.
Will Anderson would probably make the Olympic flag football team, I would think. Just guessing.
It does seem it is a different skill set, though.
Yeah,
I guess you're great. Like the whole snatching of the flag thing. I mean, is it a big learning curve though for the best defensive player in the NFL?
Have you watched much flag football?
Almost none.
Okay, well then there you go. Watch one and see the movements that they make. How many times they go down towards the knees and then pop back up. It's a totally different skill set.
Yeah, I think it'd be more competitive than you think.
I do too.
Mark in Kansas. Hi, Mark. What's on your mind today?
Hi, how's it going?
Good, Mark.
Hi, 6'3", 205. And first time, long time listener. I had a idea on how to fix players' salaries in the NFL.
Okay, I didn't know there was a call to fix their salaries, but what?
Well, the contracts. Could they not, with just signing these quarterbacks to $60 million deals for a year? Couldn't they just have an escalator like they do in the NBA, with contracts and certain achievements you earn in your season? It could go towards your new contract.
I'm not ready to solve a salary cap in the NFL or salary fixes. I'm okay with it. There are going to be guys. The problem is that these owners will pay a year early for these quarterbacks, and there's no rush to do that. Like, I'm sorry if your feelings are hurt that we don't extend you after your third year. You'll live. You'll get your money. You signed a 5-year deal. How about we get through the 4th year of the deal? Yes, Todd.
Baseball has issues with the salaries getting so out of control that they could be looking at a lockout because it sounds like the commissioner's office and the league feels like they got to get control of this and not just let it get so out of hand that they got to kind of put a ceiling on it.
James in Salt Lake. Hi, James.
Dan, how you doing?
Hey, James.
Dan, I'm here. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Good. What's up?
What's up, man? Hey, love you. Love the show. I got a real quick way to stop this tanking situation because I live in Utah. I'm tired of going to the games and seeing some guys I just played against in the G League or at the Rec Ball Center. So this is my solution. The teams that are 7 through 10, they get to draft the teams that are 10 and after. So every team that didn't make the play-in tournament, they get to add the players that are inside the 10 through the 15 teams, right? And then after that, if you get caught tanking twice, then you get to lose the draft rights to them players and then get to go to new teams. So therefore, at least all 82 games, you'll get to actually see players play.
It's a Friday. I'm sorry, James. I'm already into the weekend.
That's a lot going on.
Yeah,
right there.
it is. But thank you for offering up suggestions. Todd, what'd you learn today?
John Harbaugh says his Giants will come out of the corner swinging like Hagler Hearns at Caesar's Palace back in '85.
Seton.
I learned nobody has it better than John or Jim Harbaugh.
Marvin?
Noah Eagle's only 29.
Dylan?
Turns out having a big dingus helps with ski jumping. Who knew?
Todd, what did I learn?
Eric in Washington, so moved by your interview with Bo Jackson, he felt compelled to get tested himself. Good news.
Life-changing, extra-large flushable dude wipes because, dude, available at Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes, best clean, pants down. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
All right, fellas, 2 words for you. Prostate exam. Did your butt just clench up? Are you imagining the finger right now? Well, you can relax. Prostate cancer screening starts with a simple, finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. But that's no reason to reclench. When caught early, at localized or even regional stage, prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate. Did your tight end just relax? Good. If you're 40 or older and have a prostate, visit RelaxIt'sABloodTest.com to find out if a PSA blood test is right for you. The PSA blood test can be the first step in screening. Talk to your doctor to evaluate your risk, determine when to get tested, and discuss screening options and next steps. That's RelaxIt'sABloodTest.com. Sponsored by Novartis.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs out of your car.
Valentine's Day, the day and month we all think about love. Steve Russell here. Let me tell you something I love, my car. And I really love the fact I can depend on it day in and day out thanks to my friends at Dave Mays Automotive. You see, Dave Mays Automotive is famous for their bug check. That means anytime you take a vehicle in, they go over it from top to bottom looking for anything that might pop up down the road. This way, there's no surprises, and you could love driving your car. Brakes, tires, oil changes, engine and transmission services at Dave Mays Automotive, they take care of it all, just like they've been doing since 1975. They're at 2905 Northeast 19th Drive, the industrial complex behind the Sunnies on Waldo Road, and online at DaveMaysAutomotive.com. Dave Mays Automotive, they get the bugs out.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs, all of them bugs, out of your car.
This Valentine's, surprise her with the most personal, most romantic, most meaningful gift ever. Beautiful jewelry from International Diamond Center. And when you do, we'll make sure you have all the bases covered with roses, chocolates, and a gift card for a romantic dinner, all on us. At IDC, we've put together a special selection of ready-to-wear gifts, from classics like diamonds and pendants and diamond earrings to stunning new creations from top bridal designers. Italian gold jewelry, rare gemstone jewelry. These are gifts that she'll enjoy not just for a day or two, but for decades to come. Come let our experts help you find the perfect gift. Spend as little as $199 and we'll give you the roses, chocolates, and a gift card for dinner at Spurrier's Gridiron. Or if you prefer, you can finance your Valentine's gift with 0 interest for 36 months. This Valentine's, let the experts at International Diamond Center show you how to say I love you louder than ever with a gift that shows how much you care. International Diamond Center in Celebration Point. On approved credit.
Way through his quest for a record 6 gold medals at 1 Winter Olympics. Gold number 3 for King Clabo coming in the cross-country 10K interval start race. The 29-year-old has now won 8 career golds, tied with 3 other Norwegians for the most ever at the Winter Games. Meanwhile, the quad god Ilya Malinin goes for gold in the men's free skate. That starts at 1 Eastern. At 3:10 Eastern, the U.S. women's hockey team faces off with Italy in the quarterfinals. 17-year-old Alessandro Barbieri leads 3 Americans in the men's snowboard halfpipe finals. He was 4th in qualifying. In curling, the U.S. women rallied to beat Canada 9-8, while the men lost to Canada earlier this morning 6-3. With this Winter Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Crystal Air, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and The Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch, talk some sports. Welcome to an FRIDAY Friday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. Caroline is going to produce today. She's going to be busy. Matter of fact, busy Gator weekend. Got a bunch of guests today, including a preview of Kentucky for basketball. But let me tell you, the Gator baseball games this weekend have already been affected in that the game tonight will start normally. You can hear it here. But then tomorrow they are playing a doubleheader. Both games will be 9 innings. Okay, it begins at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So make that change. Doubleheader tomorrow for Gator baseball. We've not been apprised of any changes for softball yet. Today, we're going to have softball for you at 3:10. And then Zach will have an abbreviated version of the tailgate. And then we'll have Gator baseball for you tonight at 6:25. Big weekend here. Gator Gymnastics has number 1 Oklahoma here, linked to pink. Men's golf is hosting the Gator Invitational. Lacrosse is taking on a good Michigan team. Of course, Gator basketball tomorrow. The men hosting Kentucky. So it's a big Gator weekend. And, of course, the softball tournament going on, too. So a lot happening here in Gator sports. There's also a lot going on with other sports as well. I'll get to them, but first I want to tell you we broadcast live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, introducing full-color landscape lighting. You can light your porch or your whole backyard in Gator colors, orange and blue. Gator Trim Light makes your game day ready. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. Find out everything they can do for you, and believe me, it is a lot. And remember, we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. When you go see the Cousins boys, tell them Sports Scene sent you. You'll be glad you did. All right. All of our guests today, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. And our first guest is going to join us right now here in the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. He's Eastside's longtime boys basketball coach, Pop Williams, as Eastside will be playing postseason basketball today. Pop, good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Steve. How you doing?
I'm okay. Pop, first of all, for those who maybe don't know and about your season, getting to this point, tell me about the journey, Pop. How's the season gone, and how good a basketball are you playing now?
We are 15-8 right now. We lost to North Marion in the district championship game. The kids playing pretty well. To be young, they kind of surprised me along the stretch. The further, we won 8 games in a row, so I've been kind of surprised in the season to me. But I'm kind of happy where the kids are right now during the season.
I was talking to some of the other coaches. Going to have more on today. Back in the day, you remember this, right? You played. You won the district tournament you're in, and sometimes if you didn't win the district tournament, you were not in. But you can get in now, maybe even not getting to the district tournament because of strength of schedule. Doesn't that change the way you schedule?
Yeah, it does, and it makes it kind of hard, because, you really, if you're a smaller school, you're trying to play bigger school, but then if you play a bigger school, lose a smaller school, then you might not get in. So it's kind of confusing how they do it, but, I guess that's the change of life, I guess. Everybody has to abide by it, and it is what it is.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Who do you play here coming up tonight?
We got Eustis. Eustis are down on the road. We're on the road tomorrow at 7 down to Eustis. They pretty good. They 5th seed, we 4th seed. I think they like 16-9, and I think like 16-9, and we 15-8. So it should be a pretty good game.
What do you know about them? What kind of fuels them?
Well, they play man to man. They went to the Final Four last year, and they lost quite a few guys last year. And we gained a lot of guys last year that got a lot of kids back. The only thing that's going to be our problem is, being young and being on the road. So they're going to press, trap a lot. Hopefully we can maintain all those runs. And, we're going to play pretty good defense ourselves.
I've asked everybody this, and I always do. You've done this for so long, Pop. You've been through just about everything in your career. But, when you go to postseason, do you start 0-0? Is that what you tell your team?
Yeah. Once you get in the district, it's 0-0. It's a new season. The playoff starts in the district, so you can't worry about the bad games. And I can actually say, the North Marion game, we had 2 sophomore kids that really helped us. They didn't score. It wasn't because of the defense. They just focus wasn't there. They didn't score. We wound up losing by 8, but those kids are good enough for 16 points, together, 8 points apiece, and they didn't score anything, and that was a big difference. Hopefully tomorrow, they'll come with the game in their pocket, and we can do a lot better than we did in the district championship game.
Let me close with this, Pop. Where do you think you've improved the most from the start of the year to now?
Oh man, a big improvement. First of all, they learning the game to be young. We got 8 sophomores, so you think about it, Steve. They was freshmen last year, so it's a big step. And and your seniors, you got the 3 seniors. They never been in a winning program because the last couple of years we struggled. So right now, from where we came at the beginning, surprising. Hopefully that we can get past this hump here, and then I know if we win that, we'll wind up probably playing North Marion again for the 4th time this year. So
wow,
we came a long ways, and the kids, they really buying in, and it's a good thing they're young and buying in now. So hopefully everything will work out okay tomorrow.
Pop, I always appreciate your time, man. Good luck tomorrow. Thanks for doing this.
Okay, thanks for having me on, Steve.
You got it, Pop. Good dude, and he's been there a long time. He's coached. He's mentored a ton of kids for the Rams. speaking of the Rams, I hope next to be getting on their women's coach, Lana Turner. They're also in the postseason. And later on today, Jack Goose Givens will give you a preview of Kentucky men's basketball. He'll be at the bottom of the hour. And then Chris Burke will talk SEC baseball with you in the 1 o'clock hour. But let's get Coach Turner here to talk about her women's basketball team over at Eastside. Coach, thank you for doing this. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Sure, Lana. I just talked to Pop right before you. I'll kind of ask you some of the same things, Lana. From the beginning of the year to now, where you've gotten to play in the postseason, where have you gotten better? Where have you improved the most?
I would say towards our postseason, because of our pieces of our puzzle started coming together, so we see our full image of our team now and our capability.
Also, tell us who you play and what do you know about them?
Tonight we'll be playing Bishop Moore. They're the number 1 seed for our division for our region on this side of the 4 bracket. Pretty good team. I think they have a lot of seniors or upperclassmen.
I want to also ask this, because when you start a year, it never usually ends that way. Lineups change, kids have different roles. How has your team evolved? Have the kids sort of learned and grown as the season's progressed here?
Yes, we definitely learned, grown, evolved. We had a lot of evaluations. We had our ups and downs, switching positions. But every step of the way, each single one of my players stepped up, was ready for whatever position they were going to be placed in for that game. And they played their role. And, some nights it might have fell short, but we see that, that child can, play that spot as well as their natural spot that they, typically would have been in if, the game, if it wasn't foul trouble or something like that.
Sometimes, most times, when you have a winning year, when you get to the postseason, it's been a pretty good year. Has this been a fun group to coach?
Yes, this definitely has been a good group to coach. A lot of young girls, they'll be back, so we have a lot of time to build and grow with this group. We only had 2 seniors this year that I'm going to definitely miss, but with this group, I know my 2 seniors left a big impact on them to know that what they need to do for the future.
Last, I'll end with this. Based on what you know about your opponent, what do you think you'll have to do to win in advance?
Just be disciplined. Be disciplined. As long as we're disciplined, we should be fine.
Wow, I like that. Coach, I appreciate it, both you and Pop, for coming on here today, because both of you at Eastside getting to the postseason. Thank you for doing it. Good luck to you, and hope you advance.
Thank you.
You got it, Coach. Thank you. That's Lana, not Lana Turner, the actress Lana Turner, the women's basketball coach over at Eastside. You'll hear from Buolz's boys basketball coach, Elliot Harris, later in the show. Again, if you're just tuning in, weather will already impact Gator baseball. Week 1, doubleheader tomorrow. It'll begin at 2 o'clock. There'll be 2 9-inning games, and then the second game will start about 50 minutes or so after the conclusion of the first game. The game tonight, still here. You can hear it at 6:25. And again, we'll have softball here today for you beginning at 3:10. And Zach will have an abbreviated version of the tailgate, and then we'll give Gator baseball opening night props. All right. As we have you today, as always, any Facebook Live questions, Caroline will get them to us. Brought to you by Ruzogre State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for casualty, home, car, and life insurance. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking, serving our community for 90 years. And again, all the calls on our phone line, which is sponsored by Titan MRI and Imaging, 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City, and Same-day scheduling is available. You can find out more at TitanMRI.com. The email, you know what it is, srussell@wruf.com, brought to you by International Diamond Center, carrying an assortment of engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, and fine jewelry. They are the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. And Quality Plumbing, sponsoring our first hour here, relying on the same company Gainesville's trusted for over 40 years, since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll open up the phone lines, emails, whatever you have. It's a Friday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Nevia Baker-Harris. Men's golf is ramping up for the Gators Invitational right here in Gainesville this weekend. For player Matthew Kress, this Invitational is a sweet reminder of where he came from.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full circle moment. My freshman year, I didn't even play in the Gator because I was redshirting, so I just watched from the sidelines, and now I'm leading the team out in my last go-around here, so it's definitely a full circle moment.
Tee time is scheduled for 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. Men's basketball is set to play Kentucky at home tomorrow at 3 p.m. Coverage of the game will start at 2:30 p.m. on WRUF. Gymnastics is looking to bounce back after a loss against Missouri last Friday. Tonight's match against Oklahoma will definitely be a true test of their strength.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida. And now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour. This Valentine's Day, love goes back to where it all began, Rome. The first Valentine's dinner was served in Italy, and now you can fall in love all over again at Pomodoro Cafe, Gainesville's premier Italian restaurant. Treat your special someone to an unforgettable evening featuring our exclusive Valentine's menu, from an indulgent crab tower to heart-shaped lobster ravioli, seafood fra diavolo, and our signature filet mignon al vino rosso. Reservations are limited. Reserve now at Pomodoro Cafe and make this Valentine's one to remember. Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
What'd your mom pack you for lunch? Let's see. A turkey sandwich, chips, and... Oh, fresh from Florida strawberries. I'll trade you for some string cheese. Sure. Here's my sandwich and my chips. No, I want the Florida strawberries. Seriously? No way. Can I throw in my juice box? You can throw in your lunchbox. You're not getting my Florida strawberries.
Pack the snacks your kids want to eat. Look for the sunny, fresh from Florida logo where you shop.
How about my new sneakers? Nope. These earbuds? Nope. My backpack? Nope.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators basketball, right here on WRUF.
Well, the big day's almost here. Valentine's Day. Caroline, happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody listening. And remember, you can really celebrate and do it right if you go to my friends at Floral Expressions Florist. Scott and his group are the best. They are the best at what they do for this holiday. Roses, mixed bouquets, blooming plants, other gifts like scented candles that she will really love. And they can even deliver it with a special message attached. That's pretty cool. You want more info, you can just call them, 352-375-1234. Their gift experts are waiting, and they will help you get just the right gift. And if you want to shop online, do it yourself. That's easy, too. FloralExpressionsFlorist.com is the place to do that. FloralExpressionsFlorist.com. Give them a call, email them. They will do it right for Valentine's Day. All right. Open the phone lines up, 392-8255. You can also email srussell@wruf.com. Bernard, hello.
Hey, Steve, tomorrow before the game, are they going to do a little brief ceremony to give Denzel Alexander his championship ring?
Do not know that.
Okay. Next thing, Steve, this Trinidad Chandler situation. He found a friendly court in Mississippi. They didn't get a ruling. They just stayed this thing, so it looked like he's going to be eligible. Steve, I don't understand. He was at Ferris State. Maybe you know more about it than I do. And we've talked about this, Steve. It's like I felt bad for Charles Bediako. I'm pointing the finger at the Ducks. It's like, hey, man, we don't want to do the right thing. We just want to win, because I read the information about the new coach at Mississippi taking the player from Clemson, and that was crazy, and that was clear tamper. And lastly, Steve, I'll leave you with this. Our women's team was in it last night against Oklahoma on the road, and then they kind of spurted on us at the end. Steve, it looks like we're going to have a new women's coach next year, and I wonder, we talked about it, is that going to make a difference because of the expectations and the money and the money put in the program does not align? I think the best bet, Steve, is maybe you go with one of these assistant coaches at one of these good programs that maybe has some connections in the transfer portal. Steve, you take care and have a great weekend, okay?
All right, Bernard, you too. Thank you. Well, here's the bit of a problem with that. Kelly Ray has some pretty good players. I mean, you got O'Neal and McGill, and I mean they're pretty good. They just don't have enough around them. And unfortunately, they play in a league that's loaded. By the way, the Chambliss thing is a little bit different because what his attorneys used was that he couldn't play his second year when he went to Ferris State because of respiratory issues. In other words, it was an injury. He didn't play a snap all year because then he said that the Ferris State coach would get him a medical red shirt, and I guess that didn't happen. So this is not like the Bediako situation because he used an injury, and he got a friendly judge in a state court, let's face it. But the NCAA had argued that his medical records showed he chose to forego surgery so he could participate in the football season. And instead, he tried to manage his condition via medication. Well, again, big win for Ole Miss, and that's a team, of course, Florida will play. Also, the Big Ten is really pushing a 24-team college football playoff plan. 24 teams. What do you think about that? I know one thing. When Scott Strickland was here beginning of the month, he was very articulate and made a very cognitive argument about why there should be more teams based upon a number of things. I don't know that 24 is the optimum number. There would be no conference championship games in this. And, you know, if you're an old-timer, those games were kind of fun. But, again, lots of things change. That format, by the way, would consist of the 23 best, in parentheses, teams, and one spot for a group of 6. No automatic qualifiers. Okay? That's the Big Ten's version. Okay? The way it would have broken down this year, had there been this, 7 from the SEC, 6 from the Big Ten, 5 from the Big 12, 3 from the ACC, 2 group of 6, and then our friends at Notre Dame. The top 8 teams would get byes, and they want to start the playoff the second weekend in December. Where again, you're trying to schedule games when you don't have an NFL conflict, because even though it doesn't seem like this in a college town, the NFL normally, like 99% of the time, will outdraw a college game. Also, the preference is no regular season rematches would be permitted in the first round. But you could play if you didn't play in a regular year. In other words, in the same conference, if Florida and Ole Miss made it, they would not play each other because they already played. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen right away. I don't think so. There would also mean 23 total games, which is up 11 from the 12-team format. What do you think of all this? Right in the middle of basketball here, and here we sit with this. This is going to happen, in my opinion. It's not going to happen next year, and it may incrementally grow to this. But I think the Big Ten and the SEC share the fact that, hey, we got so many good teams here that are left out that if you put them in there, could make noise. There's just not enough spots. So I think this is really going to happen. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI phone line if you want, 3928255, International Diamond Center email. BB, who are your top 3 SEC men's basketball teams right now? Who are your top 3 men's college basketball teams overall nationally? I'll think on that. Because I don't want to I have an answer I would give you sort of off the cuff, but I don't want to do that without thinking about it a little bit. Because I do think this. It changes, obviously, over the course of the year. Arizona, I think, is still one of the top 3 teams. I don't think there's much question about that. Probably Houston. The third one, I don't know. There's a bunch of them there. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And then we're going to talk Kentucky basketball with Goose Givens. That's next as you listen on Sports Scene on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money, and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
This Valentine's, surprise her with the most personal, most romantic, most meaningful gift ever. Beautiful jewelry from International Diamond Center. And when you do, we'll make sure you have all the bases covered with roses, chocolates, and a gift card for a romantic dinner. Spend as little as $199 and we'll give you the roses, chocolates, and a gift card for dinner at Spurrier's Gridiron. This Valentine's, let the experts at International Diamond Center show you how to say I love you louder than ever with a gift that shows how much you care. International Diamond Center in Celebration Point.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Need a new AC and wondering who to call? I'm Kirk Smith, owner of Crystal Air and Water. Our team of professionals are strongly committed to responsiveness, problem resolution, customer satisfaction, and service excellence. We promise to meet the heating and cooling needs of your home with the most effective and energy-efficient products available. Maybe that's why we're the most liked AC company on Facebook. Follow us today. Crystal Air and Water, online at acpenguin.com.
License number CMC 1249384.
Yes, I'm calling Crystal Air and Water. Call Crystal.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Hey everybody, it's Steve Russell. You know, Valentine's Day's almost here, and I recommend you go to the best florist in town, my favorite, Floral Expressions Florist. Scott and his gang are the best at what they do, from roses or mixed bouquets, blooming plants, plus other gifts you'll love, like scented candles and gourmet popcorn. They deliver, too. They make it so easy, and you're the one who'll score the points. Call them at 352-375-1234 or shop online now at floralexpressionsflorist.com. You'll be glad you did.
Gator baseball returns this February to WRUF.
Thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of Sports Scene, and thanks to all of our sponsors as well. We've talked to some high school coaches today. When they come on, they're courtesy of Gator Domino's, proud to support our local high schools. You can call or click www.domino's.com today. All right, let's go with our next guest, courtesy of Meldon Law. He is part of the Kentucky Broadcast Network as the men's basketball team comes to Gainesville to face Florida this weekend. Jack Goose Givens joins us. Jack, welcome. Good to have you.
Thanks, Steve. Good talking to you again, man.
Same here. By the way, I'm going to ask you, Jack, I just got an email from a listener, and he said, who do you think are the 3 best teams in the SEC in men's basketball right now? And I know I'm taking the easy way out here, but I do think at this juncture, the 3 teams with the best records, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, are the best 3. Would you concur with that?
Well, partly. I'm picking Florida, and Florida. They're playing so well, man. They might, you could pick them 3 times, and because they are playing tremendous basketball for sure. But yeah, I think those 3 you named have to be considered. Kentucky has finally kind of figured themselves out and playing some pretty decent basketball in spite of the injuries, which obviously is a good thing for me and good thing for Kentucky basketball. But, man, the last team I would want to play right now is Florida with the way they're playing.
You mentioned the injuries. How healthy is Kentucky?
Well, we have 3 of our projected top 6 guys, if you will. We have 3 of them out and will not play. Of course, Jaden Quaintance, who we've only really had for 1 game. He was, and I think that was an adrenaline game. He was so excited to finally be able to come back and play. We played St. John's, and boy, he showed everybody what he was capable of doing in that game. And man, everybody's hopes and expectations went through the roof off of that game. But he wasn't healthy after that. He played more minutes probably than he should have. Maybe he wouldn't come out of the game, and he was playing so well. I understand not taking him out, but his knee took some steps back after that game, and he tried a couple more games, but the explosiveness and the quickness and all the great things he does so well never got back to what it was in that St. John's game. So they've kind of shut him down for now. I don't know for sure if he'll ever be able to come back this year, but of course we all are hoping. Jalen Lowe is a really, really good point guard who we had anticipated having in the starting lineup with your guy, D.A. Denzel, was going to run 2, and J-Lo was going to run the point. And, of course, he's out for the rest of the year now. And then Cam Williams, who was just coming into his own and playing that 3 and stretch 4 position, playing it so well. He's out as well. So those 3 guys would have made a tremendous difference in this team. I think it's kind of worked in our favor because guys like Denzel is not looking over his shoulder and thinking, well, J-Lo be back here and I'll be in my natural 2 spot. And now he's the point guard and he has to run it. He knows that, and he's gotten so much better in that position over the last 10 games or so. Our bigs are not looking, thinking JQ is going to be our savior. He's going to come. So guys like Malachi Moreno and Brandon Garrison, they've had to accept that this is your spot and you better make the most of it. So I think in some ways the injuries have led to us being where we are. But, man, with those 3 guys who are out, you're talking about what I think could be a top 5, top 8 team in the country.
Wow. Sometimes, this, Jack, numbers can lie, but in the SEC, Florida, Kentucky, I believe ranked 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 in defense in terms of points given up. Is this a game where you think Kentucky's got to keep this score down if it possibly can to have a better chance to win?
I do agree with you there, Steve, and I don't think we want to get into a running up and down game with the Gators right now because they're scoring from everywhere. I watched that Georgia game a couple nights ago, and man, if they're making threes, they are just, they are good anyway, but they are really, really good if they're making threes. And they get a lot of transition baskets. I was kind of amazed at how quickly they score after a made basket. Everybody can run after a missed basket, but, man, Florida must have had 5 transition baskets after Georgia made a shot. And that with their bigs, that was the thing that shocked me as much as anything watching that game. But yeah, they Kentucky have gotten a lot better defensively, a lot more consistent defensively. We got behind in some games early and took a pretty good spanking in those games because we weren't where we are defensively. That's not to say we won't fall behind again, but they have figured out ways to stay in games. And sometimes you just have to be really patient offensively to keep a team from forcing you to take a bad shot like the Gators do, and then give them opportunities on the other end. So, no, I don't want to get into an up and down against the Gators, that's for sure. But it's going to take an unbelievable, consistent team defensive effort for Kentucky to stay in this game.
Jack Givens joining us here, part of the Kentucky broadcast team coming here as Kentucky gets set to play Florida tomorrow in the O'Connell Center. A couple of last things, Jack. From a three-point shooting perspective, how good is Kentucky?
Again, not as good as we would have been if we were fully loaded, but we have in Mark's offense, he likes for guys to be thinking about what the next play is before they catch the ball. They're already supposed to be thinking, I'm open. If I'm not open, I know where I'm going with this ball. And the more comfortable we get with understanding that philosophy, the better we've gotten at shooting threes. We are making some now. We struggled early in the year from behind the three-point line, and I'm just going through the Florida notes, and over this 4-game win streak that Florida's on, they've held teams to 22% at the three-point line. So, if we can figure out a way to make some, especially early, if we can figure out a way to make some early and allow ourselves to stay in it, obviously that's going to help a lot. But we're shooting it better because we're playing just better team ball and understanding Mark's offense a little bit better.
I got a final question. I hope this comes out right, because I want to ask it not as a broadcaster, Jack, but as a former player and a really former good player. When you watch Florida and watch what they do, what impresses you from a player perspective?
I like to play with unselfish guys. And at least here lately, not so much early, but at least here early, I want to know that if I get open, the guys I played with, Cal Macy and Rick Roby and some of the guys I won a championship with, it's a comfort knowing if I work to get open, they're going to get me the ball. And it seems right now, and especially the last 2 times I've watched Florida play, they are moving that daggone ball so well to the open player. That's what I like. I like they rebound, they do all that kind of stuff, man, but sharing the basketball is one of the things as a player that I really enjoy. And, man, Florida's getting the ball to the right player, it seems, just where they want it, just about every time down the floor.
It's great to have you. I appreciate your insight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow when the Wildcats take on the Gators here in Gainesville. Appreciate your time, Jack. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Yep. Really, for those who don't know, he was a really good player when he played at Kentucky. Jack Goose Givens joining us here. All right, let's get it. An International Diamond Center email. Williams says at the start of the season, Kentucky fans were questioning if Pope was the right choice. Wonder what they think now. I was reading on Georgia's talk forum, and Bulldog fans seem unhappy with White as I read it. Kentucky fans are one thing. Georgia basketball fans are another. What the hell have you done in men's basketball at Georgia? Mike White got to the NCAA tournament. Now, maybe I'm not in the inner circle there. Maybe they expected a better season. We'll see. But I don't know what the issue is there. YouTube questions. They're courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Sydney, who'll be the Gators' top baseball performers this year? There's a lot of candidates for that, Sydney, because I think this is kind of like the COVID year for Florida, when they could mix and match. Again, healthy is the key here, right? But obviously you have returning guys, a Kurland, somebody like that, Lawson, those guys. But I'm anxious to see what Kyle Jones can do over the course of a full year. Sirowack at first base, I think, is going to have a good year. So I think the great thing about that is that it can be different guys. Allie, do you see the Gators making a deep run in March Madness? Yes. If they play like this, yes. Portia, what kind of dynamics do the Gators have to make them such a dominant second half team? That's a good question. I don't know that I can pinpoint one thing, Portia, but I do know this. Todd Golden almost always punches the right buttons. And if he thinks they're not playing well in the first half, even if they're leading, he lets them know, and they do something about it in the second half. But I think they're very, very good also at adjustments. I think their assistant coaching staff is one of the best in the country. And you don't ever see what they do, but the analytics they use, the preparation they use, it's really, really good. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then more phone calls this hour as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Bergen Ballatin. Starting on the tee, Florida men's golf is set to host the 49th Gators Invitational Tournament here in the Swamp. Senior leader Matthew Kress reflected on his time at this tournament, calling it a very special one.
Yeah, it's a full circle moment. My freshman year, I didn't even play in the Gator because I was redshirting, so I just watched from the sidelines, and now I'm leading the team out in my last go-around here, so it's definitely a full circle moment.
The tournament begins Saturday, and you don't want to miss it as the last 3 NCAA national champions compete head-to-head. The Gator boys are staying hot with their season sweep over eternal rival Georgia. They look to do the same as they welcome number 25 Kentucky to the O-Dome on Saturday. You can catch that on WRUF at 2:30. It's going to be a special one in the O'Connell Center tonight as the Gators gymnastics team hosts number 1 Oklahoma for their annual Link to Pink competition. That starts at 6:45.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
At Comfort Temp Heating and Air, we're proud to celebrate 40 years as your #1 local HVAC company. We offer energy-efficient solutions featuring quality products from Lennox. Whether it's new installation, system repairs, or routine maintenance, we promise to never sell you anything you don't need. Our professional and experienced technicians provide reliable service you can trust and will keep you informed throughout the entire process. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Steve Russell to remind you, every medal moment is on Hard Rock Bet. Hockey, figure skating, bobsledding, if it's happening in Milan, you can bet on it on Hard Rock Bet in just a few taps. Feeling patriotic? Back the red, white, and blue all the way to the podium, only on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Staying comfortable this evening, overnight mostly clear skies and lows cooling to just about the 50-degree mark to start off our Saturday. Mostly sunny early tomorrow with increasing clouds during the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s will cool to 60 for our Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies and an increased chance for passing showers and thunderstorms, especially Sunday evening into early Monday morning. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Abolverdi. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Well, in part because of that weather forecast, if you haven't heard, Gator Baseball now plays a doubleheader tomorrow. Tonight's game not affected, but tomorrow they'll play a doubleheader. It'll start at 2 o'clock. You can hear it here. And then the second game, about 50 minutes after the first game's over, they will both be 9-inning games. And tickets for the originally scheduled 6 o'clock game will be good for Game 3 of the series tomorrow afternoon. And then tickets for Sunday's originally scheduled 1 o'clock game can be used for Saturday's 2 o'clock game. So there you are. That's the way. Already, week 1, we've not heard anything about a softball change. It's only been a baseball change to this point. And don't forget, today, we got softball here beginning at 3:10. Zach Abolverdi will have an abbreviated version of the Tailgate, and then we'll bring a Gator baseball tonight at its normal starting time, 6:25, as the Gators will open up their season. Boy, one of those days today. Here I sit. Gladly, I have guests because there ain't nothing, apparently, you want to discuss. And there are things to discuss, but today is I'm gonna make it my CF. I'm gonna call it a CFD, controversy-free day. Those are not good days because a lot of times that's what it boils down to. When you have something like this, I thought for sure you would maybe talk about the 2014 college football playoff plan, but it ain't football season, I guess. So we'll just see what happens from here. By the way, it's funny about the Chambliss situation because he does, get another year, and that's certainly good for them. The Daytona 500 is this weekend, and I think Kyle Busch got the pole. I thought I read that. If you're a gearhead, somebody can correct me, but I think I'm right. And again, there's just not a lot of drivers that I recognize anymore. I mean, this used to be a big, big deal. Chase Elliott, I know. Logano, I know. Keselowski, I know. Denny Hamlin. But there's a lot of new blood there that I just don't know, a lot of these people. But it's still a big event, and we will see what happens with it. Next hour, got a couple of really good guests here. We're going to talk some high school basketball. We have all week because a lot of the area teams are involved, both boys and girls, in the state playoffs. Buchholz's coach, Elliot Harris, will join us. And then looking forward to having Chris Burke here at the bottom of the hour. He'll talk college baseball, SEC baseball in particular. So that's coming up in hour number 2. And hopefully you will stay with us here. Very quickly, International Diamond Center email to wrap up the hour. Paul says, who you got tomorrow? I think Florida wins, and I think Florida wins by double digits. I don't think it's a runaway game. I don't think Florida blows them out, but I do think Florida is going to win by double digits. I just think they're playing. Sometimes it's not who you play, but when you play them. And right now, teams are catching Florida when they're playing very, very well. So I just think, especially coming in here, Denzel Aberdeen coming back here, it'll be electric in the O'Connell Center tomorrow. That is our first hour of Sports Scene. We thank you for listening, but don't go away. Another hour is coming up as you listen on WRUF.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com. archercompany.com.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Markle with Transmission Doctor and Auto Care in Alachua. Did you know Transmission Doctor offers complete brake service? Our ASE certified technicians will do a complete brake inspection, and our friendly service advisors will assemble an affordable estimate. That's right, you can get your whole car serviced at Transmission Doctor, including your brakes. Located directly behind Radiant Credit Union.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games. An hour from now, the men's free skate. The quad god, Ilya Malinin, goes for the gold. He had the top score in Tuesday's short program by more than 5 points. It was his free skate on Sunday that helped the U.S. clinch gold in the team event. Meanwhile, King Klæbo, Johannes Hausflot Klæbo of Norway, has tied the Winter Olympics record with his 8th career gold medal. He's 3 for 3 so far in these games, winning the men's cross-country 10K freestyle today, and he's expected to compete in 3 more events. No one has ever won 6 gold in one Winter Games. Women's hockey quarterfinals, Team USA is the top seed. They'll face Italy and coming up at 3 Eastern. Right now, Sweden leads Czechia 1-0 in the second. Impressive comeback for the U.S. women in curling. They beat Canada 9-8, and they're 2-1 in round-robin play. With this Winter Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Choose Rain-X Rugged XL wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Their extra-large profile and premium features are made for all driving conditions. Save $16 when you buy a pair of Rain-X Rugged XL wiper blades, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Not all good news comes with a catch. Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. No strings, no gimmicks. Just dependable protection at a more affordable price. See? No catch. So if you're looking to up your savings, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251 CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Crystal Air, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and The Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Friday. Caroline, our producer today, we thank you for making time out of your busy day to join us here. We come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, now with full-color landscape lighting. They can do a full landscape install, anything in between for you. Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. You can visit them, GatorTrimLight.com. You can certainly find out more. And we come to you fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. I've been driving one for a long time. Friends, I can attest you'll get the best vehicle your hard-earned money can buy when you go see them in person. Make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. Okay? All right. This hour, hope to be talking with Chris Burke, And he'll come to you from the SEC network, and he'll preview college baseball, especially in the SEC. If you have a phone call to make, 392-8255, that is our Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. If you have an email, it is the International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. Many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. This hour brought to you in part by Crystal Air and Water. They're not comfortable till you are, because they do it right. As a matter of fact, they service heat pumps, furnaces, air conditioners for all of North Central Florida. They're good people, and they do it right. And make sure that you check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF, home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. All right, with that, Lee says, so much for your controversy-free day, and he puts an LOL. He says, I'm wondering what's going on in the country with immigration is going to affect Major League Baseball. He said, I have friends that have already been affected. I don't know, and I've not heard anything like this. I stay out of politics, wrong show. But as far as it goes, I've not heard anything so far about issues with that sort of thing in terms of Major League Baseball. Maybe there is. I just haven't heard it. But to my knowledge, there is not. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Jeff, welcome.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, I've got, you were looking for some things to talk about. I got a few things I want to throw out there and get your opinion on.
Sure.
First, going back to Goose Gibbons, if you would have just, I don't know how many years ago, but some years ago, to hear him say things like, it's going to take a total team gargantuan effort for this Kentucky team to stop and, even slow down. It's like the shoe is on the other foot from 20, 30 years ago. It's so weird for us old-timers to hear the way Kentucky's analysts are talking about us, like our analysts may have talked about it on Lexington radio back in the 80s or the early 90s. It's very weird.
You know what's funny? I'll tell you what's funny. Again, longevity, doing this all the years. I got a very similar call when Billy Donovan was doing this. Except, even with those NBA players, there just didn't seem to be, I don't know, the dominance, if that's the word, because they were, they were good. Obviously, they played a long time in the pros, those guys, Noah and Brewer, et cetera. But it just seems a little bit different. And the league, I think, is better now than what it was during a lot of Billy's years. And so to be doing it against a league that, as we saw what happened last year with all those teams in the NCAA tournament, pretty special.
Yeah. Kentucky's history is, without argument, immense. But if those Kentucky fans are as intelligent of basketball fans as they think they are, unquestionably, the last 30 years has belonged to the Gators. Unquestionably. And there's just no other way to slice it or dice it. A couple other things. I am afraid we are going to lose Kelly Ray. It's unfathomable in this day and age, with how competitive Florida is always across the board, to realize, like you said the other day, that that's the one sport we've never won an SEC title in. And years ago, I used to excuse that SEC women's basketball is just so dominant. But, there's a lot of dominance we are in other sports, and we can win conference titles in. And we're winning softball, and we have the most dominant softball conference. We can win baseball. We have the most dominant baseball conference. So that excuse has got to go. Now, regardless if it's Kelly or not next year, we are going to have the greatest amount of wolves, of NIL wolves at the door for our big three.
Yep.
That whoever is the coach next year is going to be really up against it. What's your thoughts on that? And I still got one more after this.
I agree. If that does happen, now, depending on who the new coach is that's hired, because look what happened with soccer, right?
Yeah.
I did not think she'd be let go but look how many of his Mississippi State kids transferred here. So
well,
obviously,
got Renatine, definitely.
Yeah, so obviously they think a lot of him and what he can do, and they made the NCAA tournament. So if you get a coach like that, that's got a pedigree or, a name, then you might be able to keep that talent. But yes, there's no question that at least at the beginning that's going to happen.
So now let's go to softball real quick, and I want to get your opinion on this, or speculation, or maybe you could even talk to Coach Walton about it the next time we get him on air. But so I'm going to start with Mia Williams. I was very curious. I forgot where she transferred to, and I remember when she first came here as a freshman, she made Mario Mendoza look like Rod Carew in terms of her batting average. So we'll leave that at that. But in that 1 year till her sophomore year, Coach Walton really developed. I mean, she was a major hitter by the end of her second year. And then, of course, Texas Tech has been on a spending spree in women's softball, trying to compete nationally. And so I guess she's out there and she's hitting like 750 now with 6 home runs already. So my question is one of the reasons why we're only down to 18 players this year, did we decide to focus a lot of NIL money on a few people, or are we not making the same allocations to women's softball as we are to some of our other sports, and that's why we lost someone like Mia? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, because I haven't talked to Tim about that specific thing, but I think the better answer to that might be, what is that roster compared to others?
Yeah, true.
And I don't know the answer to that, right? Because it may be a similar thing to where, other schools have similar numbers. So, great question. You're kind of asking me in a vacuum. I can't answer it.
Yeah, I think, though, either you or him mentioned when you had him on last time, we're like in the Power 5 or whatever. We have one of the smallest. We're one of the bottom 3 teams with the smallest rosters. Now, that might mean the next 20 teams above us might have 19 and we have 18. So there's not much of a difference. But you're right. So all this is in a vacuum. But I'd be interested to find out, But I know there may be trade secrets he doesn't want to announce on the air either. But it's very interesting. And kudos to Mia Williams, though, that she's out there at Texas Tech now. She's turned into one hell of a ball player.
All right. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. Let's now go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. We're going to talk boys basketball. Buell's coach Elliot Harris joins us as his team is in the postseason. Elliot, welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Always appreciate you. First of all, I've asked all the coaches I've had on this week the same opening question. I'll ask you. It's a journey, from the start of a season to now. Are you playing your best basketball now? Has this been a fun group to coach?
Oh, yeah, I think we're playing our best basketball. 19-7, the best school record in the last 15 years. We have a lot of, good kids. It's not just basketball, where we just have good kids on and off the court. And it's been a pleasure to coach them all season.
Right now, you start a season, you expect some things. Where have you improved the most from the start of the season to now?
I can say that we've gotten a lot tougher. We didn't rebound the ball very well at the beginning of the season. And, we've gotten stout on defense. We're holding opponents to 42, 43 points a game. That's been our consistency. But, just being able to rebound the ball and take care of the ball, we've gotten a lot better at that.
You've done this a while, Elliot, and sometimes, I don't care if it's an 8-year-old playing or an NBA player. Sometimes defense, you're preaching that. Sometimes it's on deaf ears. Your kids have listened, right? I mean, have they really adapted to that? They must have, because they're playing such good defense.
Yeah, it comes from internal. You have to want to play defense. It's not just you coaching it, but the players have to want to play defense. And this is a good group. They've from the first day they've bought in and really have tried to play defense this year. Last year wasn't our forte. We just wanted to run up and down the court and shoot threes. To be able to add a defensive presence that really helps your offense.
Tell us who you have in the playoffs and what they do.
So we have Milton. I think Milton is 23-2 right now. They're number 4 in the region. We're number 5 in the region. They're very aggressive. They like to play up and down the court, push the ball, and they like to get out and press and make the game just easy for them. The thing is, we can play under control, take care of the ball, and be solid defensively. We'll have a good chance to win this game.
Yeah, it just sounds like from what you're saying, Elliot, that whoever wins the tempo here, because, you guys aren't the highest scoring team in the world. They like to up tempo. Is tempo and who owns that going to be important here?
Tempo is everything. Controlling, the ball, taking care of the ball, having less than 10 turnovers in the game, because they just like to speed you up and turn you over and get out and run. And so if we can control that tempo, control the ball, pick them apart, get layups, they don't have to do something that they don't want to do, and that's play defense.
I wish you luck, Elliot. And Bobcats got a tough assignment, but it's been a good Buchholz team this year. And I wish you luck, and thank you for taking the time as always.
Thanks, Steve.
You got it, Elliot. Yep, done a great job over at Buchholz. Get Rich real quick here. Rich, hello.
Steve, always good to be with you.
Yep.
So Major League Baseball, they're going to introduce the new ABS strike challenge for the batter, the catcher. I think the pitcher can challenge it also. Each team gets 2 challenges plus 1 additional per extra inning. I always thought the manager would be the best to make this call because they look at the big picture, but that's not the route they're going. And then you don't lose a challenge as long as the umpire, didn't get the call right. You don't lose your challenge. So I want to get your opinion on that first.
I like the challenge. I just want to see, like any other fan, how something new plays out, right? How does it slow the game down a great deal? How is it employed? All of that. Umpires are going to be given some discretion on plays on the bases, even if a pitch is being challenged. So, there may be some tweaking here, but look, good, bad, wrong, or right, sports has evolved, and I think correctly, into getting the call right. So I'm for this.
Yeah. Then the other part is that the challenge is not permitted when a position player is in the game, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but normally it's garbage time at that point, so probably won't have any implications on the game itself.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me because you just said it, right? If a pitch can't be challenged, the position player's pitching, it ain't 3-2.
Yeah, I have an open mind on it. We've had changes. We've had the bases that have been increased in size. We've had the pitch clock. We've had the pitcher can only throw over twice. And to be quite honest, I was against all of it, and now I'm for it. So imagine that. That's crazy.
All right,
Thanks,
Rich.
man. Great show.
Yeah, thank you. And you know what's interesting, too? You can have both an ABS challenge and a video replay challenge on the same play. On the same play. The ball strike call gets adjudicated first, then the other one. Interesting. Going to take a break. We'll come back. Much more to come on Sports Scene. You're listening to WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Harper Bowman. Florida men's golf is gearing up to make a Valentine's Day appearance. Senior Matthew Kress spoke about his team's untapped potential.
We also know that, when we play our best, we're pretty hard to beat. So that's always a big confidence builder that we've already kind of established that of what we can do when we're all playing good. And I still don't think we've actually, played all our complete best golf yet.
The Gators will start making their way through the home course at 7:20 a.m. tomorrow. Gator Gymnastics will be hitting the mats tonight with their Link to Pink meet. Florida, ranked 5, will be taking on number 1 Oklahoma in one of their biggest matchups of the season at 6:45 p.m. The Florida men's basketball team is looking to stay hot with another big game tomorrow. The number 14 Gators will be facing number 25 Kentucky at 3 p.m. Follow along with WRUF starting at 2:30 p.m.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida. And now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Let's go to our Titan MRI imaging phone line. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve, do you have me there?
I got you.
Hey, Steve, real quick, Steve, love talk radio. I grew up with it, and where I'm going with this is, Steve, basketball season in Florida has traditionally been this way, and we do not talk basketball, and I'm so glad to hear, I think we're progressing, and we're starting to turn into the new bloods where we can talk it. And I've been kind of mentioning Indiana, and that's because I wonder what it's like up there now, Steve. I don't know if they're basketball team, but, remembering the Bobby Knight days, I bet they talk basketball like we talk football. Wonder they're ready to talk football this year instead of basketball. But that's the thing I think Florida and Indiana has in common. And, Steve, real quick, if you don't have anything to talk about, I think basketball, football, and everybody has really got to be a lot of parity in these days. If you look at even the Seattle Seahawks and them and all those teams, it's not traditionally. Baseball seems like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Philadelphia, the Phillies, and those teams traditionally just dominate. Do you see a breakout team coming this year? Do baseball need to get a little more like football, and where you don't know who's going to win, anything. It's not like a lot of parity. And baseball don't seem to have it. If that makes sense.
No, baseball doesn't have it.
That's my baseball question.
All right. No, baseball doesn't have that, and I think there's going to be a lockout, Byron, at the end of the year. The players do not want any kind of a salary cap. The owners want something like that. They are coming to absolute loggerheads over this. Andrew says, North Dakota State to the Mountain West. What's the future of FCS? More conference alignment always coming. Well, I mean, remember, other schools also replace FCS as well. I don't know that there'll come a day when it'll just be no FCS. I'd be surprised. If that does happen, Andrew, I don't think that happens in my lifetime. By the way, again, in case you haven't heard, baseball will play a doubleheader tomorrow. Now, because of the weather that's coming, you can hear baseball here tomorrow, and then basketball, of course, on 103.7 The Gator. So wanted to make sure that you knew that. And then the second game will also be here tomorrow, about 50 minutes after the conclusion of the first one. And softball here today at 3:10. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Zach Abolverdi has a truncated version of the tailgate, and then we'll have Gator baseball tonight at its normal start time as Florida opens up the year. We've not heard of any schedule changes with softball. If we do, we will certainly pass them along to you. At the bottom of the hour, hope to have Chris Burke from the SEC Network to talk SEC baseball, and then we'll reserve the final segment of the show for you to call in and wrap up the week here as we talk sports with a very busy Gator weekend coming up. Lacrosse, Gator men's golf, gymnastics, softball, baseball, lots going on. You're listening to Sports Scene right here on WRUF.
Right here on WRUF.
It's football season, touchdowns and celebrations, and unfortunately, injuries. If you're injured, call Titan MRI and Imaging. No need to deal with long wait times and high costs to get your scans done. Titan MRI and Imaging will save you time and money. And the experience at Titan MRI and Imaging, much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. So if you need a scan, call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
This Valentine's, surprise her with the most personal, most romantic, most meaningful gift ever. Beautiful jewelry from International Diamond Center. And when you do, we'll make sure you have all the bases covered with roses, chocolates, and a gift card for a romantic dinner. Spend as little as $199 and we'll give you the roses, chocolates, and a gift card for dinner at Spurrier's Gridiron. This Valentine's, let the experts at International Diamond Center show you how to say I love you louder than ever with a gift that shows how much you care. International Diamond Center in Celebration Point.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Need a new AC and wondering who to call? I'm Kirk Smith, owner of Crystal Air and Water. Our team of professionals are strongly committed to responsiveness, problem resolution, customer satisfaction, and service excellence. We promise to meet the heating and cooling needs of your home with the most effective and energy-efficient products available. Maybe that's why we're the most liked AC company on Facebook. Follow us today. Crystal Air and Water, online at acpenguin.com.
License number CMC 1249384.
Yes, I'm calling Crystal Air and Water. Call Crystal.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spur's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave, Los Linderos tequila. Aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
It feels so good to be champions, and the Florida men's basketball team is back to defend their title. Show your pride by gearing up for game day at Rally House. Located at 1680 West University Ave, just across the street from campus, Rally House is your one-stop shop for all your authentically licensed Gator game day gear.
Western One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games. His name is Johannes Hosflat Klæbo. He's a Norwegian cross-country skier, and all he's done over the last 2 Winter Games is win 8 gold medals. The 8th coming today in the 10,000-meter free. 1 more in Italy. He'll have 1 more gold than anyone ever. 3 more next week, and he'll have 6 in these games, breaking the record of 5 shared by Klæbo from 4 years ago and the great U.S. speed skater Eric Heiden in 1980. Wouldn't be a Winter Games without a figure skating judging controversy. The biggest was back in 2002 in Salt Lake. That was a French judge. So is this, accused of rigging the ice stands to give the French team the gold medal. She had them nearly 8 points better than the U.S. duo of Chuck and Bates, who settled for silver. International Skating Union standing by the judge's decision. Cash Hour, Western One Sports.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points. Limit supply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Kohl's gets it. Valentine's Day comes with expectations. Grand expectations, telepathic expectations, and heart-shaped everything expectations. Yes, even waffles. Kohl's has gifts that rise to the occasion. From romantic to playful, sparkly to sweet, or all of the above. Plus, get 15% off some of your finds. So go ahead, exceed those Valentine's Day expectations with Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends February 16th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Final half hour of the program. Caroline's done a nice job producing today. She's going to get Chris Burke on the phone now next to talk some SEC baseball. And then the last segment of the show, chance for you to finish up with your questions, calls, and comments. And again, a really, really busy weekend here. Softball, gymnastics, baseball, of course, men's basketball, lots of stuff coming up. And there has been no change yet in terms of the softball schedule. If there is, we will certainly let you know. Okay? In the meantime, I want to thank all of those who have given us Facebook Live questions. They're courtesy of Ruse-Ogre State Farm. Our YouTube questions brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, as Crystal Air and Water sponsors our number 2 of the show. All of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971, and now joining us on the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. You see him all the time on ESPN, the SEC Network, talking college baseball / SEC baseball. Chris Burke joins us here. Burke, good to have you, man. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, what's happening? How are y'all?
I'm doing great. Thanks for doing this. As usual, the SEC's loaded again. A lot of teams in the top 25. Obviously, sitting here in Gainesville, I want to talk about Florida. What do you see here early on with this Gator team?
Well, I'm pretty interested. It was, how would we describe the off season? What word would you use?
Eventful.
Okay, we'll go with eventful.
Okay.
It was an eventful off season. With all due respect, Sully's a dear friend. I love him. Think the world of him as a coach and program builder, and have no doubt that he's got the ability to steady that ship and get things going in a great direction. But I do think it would be. I do think we have to give credence to the fact that they lost Chuck Drolleman. That is no small loss, in my opinion. I think very highly of Chuck and his ability to recruit, his ability to develop hitters. I think that track record is pretty clear. And then also, he ran the offense, right? And so I think it'll be interesting. I'm not saying, Sully won before Chuck came on the staff, and I have no doubt he's going to win afterwards. But I do think that's an adjustment. That being said, it's a pretty talented team.
It's pretty remarkable to me, and in this day and age of the portal and, how you can get well. I remember doing a series at Mississippi State not real long ago, and it wasn't good at all. And all of a sudden, here they are, ranked in the top 5 of a lot of the preseason polls. That's a pretty remarkable turnaround pretty fast, but isn't that sort of where we are now in the transfer portal world?
Well, it's an interesting ranking. I gave my buddies at D1 a bunch of grief for it because I just think I think at the end of the day, could they be that good? Yes. But it's the merging of two teams really in Virginia and Mississippi State from last year that weren't very good.
Exactly.
Talented,
Right.
but not very good. And so, yes, Brian O'Connor is a Hall of Fame coach with a national championship resume, and I think Ace Reese he could be the SEC Player of the Year. Heck, he could win the Golden Spikes Award. They got fancy freshmen like Jack Bauer, and there's tons of talent on campus, but fourth. And I love their fan base as much as any in our sport, but they're not going to go, well, that they overhyped them. We're going to give them a long runway here. You get that fan base fired up with a number 4 preseason ranking, and they're going to expect a number 4 type of team. But the cool thing to me about Brian O'Connor is if Brian O'Connor was looking for safe, he wouldn't have left Charlottesville.
True.
So I think he literally took the job because that fan base is kind of wacky, and I think he kind of digs it. So he has no problem with expectations. He has no problem with pressure. He would never have taken that job if he didn't know exactly what he was signing up for. So to me, they're one of the fascinating teams to follow early on.
I don't know if a coach feels this, because Coach Van Horn at Arkansas has done just about everything except, win the College World Series. They got there last year. They won 50 games, all of that. And they're, again, going to be really good this year. Is there pressure there on a team you've played when you get to the postseason, and even if you get to Omaha, your coach hasn't done that? Is that extra pressure on players, or does that just not factor in at all?
No, I think it factors in. Players, especially with today's world of social media, they know too much. I think if you talk to the Florida State players, even prior to social media, those guys, they were desperate to win it all for Mike Martin. And I think the part of the tragedy that was last year's finish for Arkansas was those kids really want to be the first team to win it for Dave Van Horn. And so that, yeah, I think that is a part of the story. I think as much as we'd like to think every team is a brand new version of itself, and what does history have to do with this year's team for any team? I think there is a carryover effect for the fact that whether it was Skip Bertman or Jay Johnson, LSU I think has only ever lost one championship game.
Wow.
Those guys get to the stretch run in Omaha, and that jersey matters. That matters to them. And so I think to flip some of that is hard to do. By the same token, what history did Indiana football have?
True.
And it worked out all right for them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be everything, but it's something.
The history of this sport, everything changes. You know that. The top 25 is, in every poll, is dominated by the ACC and the SEC. UCLA is really good. Oregon State's been good. But, teams like the Anteaters and USC, those teams used to really be on top. They're not now. What's changed that landscape, Chris?
Well, it's hard not to say that NIL has changed that. The reality of West Coast baseball is those kids, the best players on the West Coast, for the most part, either sign or go to the Southeast. And Jay Johnson, there was a really good article in Baseball America about Jay Johnson and LSU and him just being very honest about how hard it is on the West Coast to convince kids that want to play college baseball to stay on the West Coast. And I think that's why you got to give John Savage a bunch of credit for what he's put together at UCLA.
Yes.
He went the old school route of I'm gonna try to build this thing with high school players. 2024 they took their lumps. Last year he had a bunch of, because he played a bunch of freshmen. Last year as sophomores they make it to Omaha, and this year they're preseason number one. And give him credit. I'm sure UCLA has some NIL, but I don't think they have Arkansas or Florida or LSU or Tennessee's budget. So the fact that there's 3 or 4 kids in that UCLA lineup that could have gone anywhere, and he didn't lose any of them, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Let me end with this. Florida saw firsthand last year, Coastal, East Carolina, Southern Miss is usually pretty good. What are some of those level teams, Chris, that you like to be good again this year?
I think Coastal is going to be right there. I mean, Cam Fluke is going to be a top 10 pick. Kevin Schnall last year proved that he can. First of all, he knows how to develop, but he's pretty astute in the portal. But he doesn't need to slug to win because their run prevention is so good. So they're going to have a world-class pitching staff again, highlighted by an All-American type of arm and Cam Fluke. So I think they'll be right there. I think it'll be the usual suspects: Southern Miss, Troy, East Carolina. I think a lot of those programs are just built to be 35 to 45 game winners every year because they're just a notch above a lot of their peers. They might be, not Coastal last year, but they might be kind of a notch below maybe the elite Power 4 teams, but they're so much ahead of their competition that you can almost bank 35 to 45 wins, and they're either going to be a 2 seed in somebody's regional that nobody wants to see or hosting their own, and it'll be interesting to see which one of those emerges. But I'd be kind of shocked if Coastal doesn't host again and isn't right back in the mix to get to Omaha.
Good thing on one more thing. You were a really good player, and now with all the attention that social media brings to players, I'm using Liam Peterson as an example, but you could, give this to a bunch of players. High draft, all this is expected of him. Look, these kids are human, right? How much do you think all that affects a kid when they go out there, given all the expectation surrounding them?
it can go one of two ways. And to be honest with you, Steve, like the social media does heighten it, but the kids that are preseason draft darlings have always had to feel that kind of pressure.
That's true.
So that's not new. I mean, it is highlighted these days. You bring up Liam Peterson. To me, I would be very surprised if Florida doesn't win 16 to 20 conference games and isn't a host. When that happens, for them to get back to Omaha, which is always their standard, Liam Peterson needs to pitch in the postseason the way Liam Peterson, has pitched most of his career in the regular season. And similar to some of these, high-profile NFL quarterbacks or some of these aces we've seen through the years, Clayton Kershaw is kind of top of mind, but Greg Maddux had some runs that were similar, which is like, almost there's nothing Liam Peterson would do in the regular season that would surprise me. I mean, if he goes 12-2 and strikes out 130 guys, none of that would surprise me. But he has just not pitched very well in the postseason, and I don't know that anybody has that answer. But Florida's going to need that to change, and Steve, none of us will know if it will change until he has the ball in his hand.
Yep.
In June in a regional game.
That's right.
And so I'm sure they feel like he's grown up. He certainly has the arsenal to run through anybody's lineup 2 or 3 times. But you and I both know that it just hasn't gone well for him in the postseason. It just hasn't.
Yeah.
And that'll be a storyline to follow with Florida as the postseason approaches.
No question. Chris Burke has been our guest here on Sports Scene. Burke, always appreciate you. Thank you for the time, and we'll see you down the road doing some games here. Get you back on as the season progresses. Thank you for doing it.
All right. Anytime.
You got it, Chris. Thank you. Good dude, Chris Burke. We'll take a break, come back. We'll open the phone lines one last time as you listen to Sports Scene, powered by our friends at Southeast Car Agency and coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Harper Bowman. Florida men's golf is gearing up to make a Valentine's Day appearance. Senior Matthew Kress spoke about his team's untapped potential.
We also know that, when we play our best, we're pretty hard to beat. So that's always a big confidence builder that we've already kind of established that of what we can do when we're all playing good. And I still don't think we've actually, played all our complete best golf yet.
The Gators will start making their way through the home course at 7:20 a.m. tomorrow. Gator Gymnastics will be hitting the mats tonight with their Link to Pink meet. Florida, ranked 5, will be taking on number 1 Oklahoma in one of their biggest matchups of the season at 6:45 p.m. The Florida men's basketball team is looking to stay hot with another big game tomorrow. The number 14 Gators will be facing number 25 Kentucky at 3 p.m. Follow along with WRUF starting at 2:30 p.m.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
Attention local and regional CDL-A drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at PritchettTrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
When you need insurance, you'd like to get great coverage for a great rate, right? The big companies tell you they will, but how can you be sure? With Ann Tom's Insurance, you're not navigating coverage choices alone. Ann Tom's is an independent agent with 35 years of experience representing over 45 companies. Having an independent agent makes a real difference. It's that simple. Ann Tom's is local and independent, not just a phone bank. Go to atomsfl.com or call 352-275-9203.
When you're ready to stop juggling high-interest credit cards, when you're ready for one simple payment instead of 5, when you're ready to see the finish line on your debt, Radiant Credit Union is ready too. Radiant's special low-interest personal loan can help you consolidate debt into one predictable monthly payment. With a fixed rate and term, no surprises, and fast approvals by our local lending team, you'll know exactly when you'll be debt-free. So when you're ready to take control, Radiant is ready to help. Visit radiantcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Staying comfortable this evening, overnight mostly clear skies and lows cooling to just about the 50-degree mark to start off our Saturday. Mostly sunny early tomorrow with increasing clouds during the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s will cool to 60 for our Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies and an increased chance for passing showers and thunderstorms, especially Sunday evening into early Monday morning. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators basketball, right here on WRUF.
Thank you, Sean. Speaking of that, you can relive their national championship season in Franz Beard's new book, The Golden Season, the story behind Florida's historic title run. It's available now at spurriers.com. Click the shop tab and have it shipped on the same day. All right, let's wrap it up with a couple of phone calls. Got to be quick, though. Bill, hello.
Hey, is the weather this weekend? Did they make a determination for the Sunday game being pushed up?
Yes, doubleheader tomorrow beginning at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bill. And we'll have both games here on radio as well. Top Jimmy, hello.
Hey, good day, sir. I know you're up against it. Please quickly give me a re-equation between the Chambliss and Bediako situation.
Sure. Bediako did not. The reason I think Chambliss got this was due to a medical situation, that he got a friendly judge, and I think it was his second year, he couldn't play because of a medical condition, and they said that should not count against your eligibility. Bediako didn't have anything like that.
Okay, right, because he'd already played in the G League and been paid professionally.
Yes.
Right, okay. So that would have been considered a red shirt season in the old days. Quickly, I know you're not a gearhead, but watch the twin 125s they used to call them. It's now the duels at Daytona. Both races were really good. First one ended up with a crash and the whole green-white checkered thing. I dislike that factor in NASCAR. But it's what it's become because all the cars are built to run the same speed, side by side, and nose to tail all the time now. And your back-to-back interviews with the East Side coaches, both the boys and ladies coaches, phenomenal. And Aberdeen, is this the first time he's back in Gainesville since his transfer?
Kentucky hasn't been here since 24. Yes.
Yep. So how do you feel that's going to affect the game, or do you feel it will affect the game?
No, I don't. don't think it affects the game at all.
Okay. All right. Right on. And go Bobcats, go Gators. Let's kick some Wildcat butt tomorrow.
All right, Top Jimmy, thank you. And again, with Valentine's Day just around the corner, one more time I want to tell you about my friends at Floral Expressions, because Scott and his gang are really good at what they do. And I really mean that. I've gone to them, and they're great when it comes to finding that special gift for that special somebody. Roses, mixed bouquets, blooming plants, scented candles, you name it, they have got it. They even deliver it with a special message attached as well. No better way to score points than to show her friends how much you care when you deliver it. You can shop online or call them. The number to call, 352-375-1234. That's 375-1234. Or you can shop online at floralexpressions.com. Floralexpressions.com. Again, it's not too late, fellas, to get that special gift, and they really do it right at Floral Expressions. Sam, email, International Diamond Center email. There's a known reason why every year the early set of softball games aren't available to watch. This weekend's not available. Just curious. Sam, I don't know the answer to that. I will try to endeavor to find that out. I think part of it is that, there's not great teams at this, and there's some other tournaments across the country that maybe have a little bit of better field to it. That may be one reason. If you're talking about a national broadcast, I'm assuming you are. That would be my answer. And then Neo, and I think it's a Facebook Live question, is losing to Auburn what woke Florida up? It looks like it. It sure looks like it. Something did. But I do think that was a catalyst, especially when they lost at home. I think that was a big deal. And we'll see what happens again tomorrow. Once again, don't forget, after I am done, Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next. Then softball at 3:10. Zach Abolverdi will be here with an abbreviated tailgate, and then we'll have Gator baseball tonight at its normal time. And again, if you haven't heard for some reason, the Gator baseball game Sunday's been moved up to a doubleheader tomorrow. That will start at 2 o'clock, and both those games will be on air as well. So there you are. Wow. Whew. Exhale. That's it. Thanks to Caroline for producing. Did a nice job today, Caroline. Very nice. And thanks to all of you for listening. Always appreciate it when you do. I'm Steve Russell. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you on the Gator baseball broadcast. Talk to you Monday on another edition of Sports Scene on WRUF.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
This Valentine's Day, love goes back to where it all began, Rome. The first Valentine's dinner was served in Italy, and now you can fall in love all over again at Pomodoro Cafe, Gainesville's premier Italian restaurant. Treat your special someone to an unforgettable evening featuring our exclusive Valentine's menu, from an indulgent crab tower to heart-shaped lobster ravioli, seafood fra diavolo, and our signature filet mignon al vino rosso. Reservations are limited. Reserve now at Pomodoro Cafe and make this Valentine's one to remember. In the mood for a delicious Asian fusion cuisine for lunch? Then head to P.F. Chang's in Gainesville. They have lunch specials starting at just $11.99. Happy hour, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Wednesdays are girls' night with half-price wine and champagne bottles. And any day, anytime, sip house and lucky cocktails for $8.99. Celebrate every meal at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch, drinks, and fun.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
At Comfort Temp Heating and Air, we're proud to celebrate 40 years as your #1 local HVAC company. We offer energy-efficient solutions featuring quality products from Lennox. Whether it's new installation, system repairs, or routine maintenance, we promise to never sell you anything you don't need. Our professional and experienced technicians provide reliable service you can trust and will keep you informed throughout the entire process. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool, whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games. U.S. women's hockey team has been great and consistent. 3 of their 4 wins by the same 5-0 score, and the other was 5-1. So a combined 20-1 as they take on Italy today in the quarterfinals. It has been a great game for the host nation. Italy leads with 18 medals, got a bronze today in the women's snowboarding cross. Was hoping for one in the speed skating, the 10,000 meters. That's the long one over 6 miles. Davide Giotto is not only from Italy, but from northern Italy, but he finished 6th. Italy won 2 golds yesterday and got a silver in the short track from 35-year-old Arianna Fontana, her 13th career medal. She's won medals in 5 straight Winter Games in the 500 meters. The U.S. is at 14 medals won, almost certain to get one today, likely a gold from Ilya Malinin in figure skating. John Stanshauer, Westwood One Sports.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. You've heard his voice for more than 2 decades.
Out of the shotgun, pistol formation, pulls it back. Here comes the ball, near side, wide open. It is caught. Is he in bounds? Yes, he was. Second TD pass of the game.
Now, winter has come to Gainesville and joined Gator Nation.
Telvin Smith of the Jaguars joins us here on Football Sunday on ESPN Radio.
It's the Sports Lab with Kevin Winter, presented by Rally House Gainesville, your one-stop shop for all your officially licensed game day apparel, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and on the WRUF mobile app.
Flushed out of the pocket, throws back in the end zone, it is knocked away!
Now, here's Kevin Winter.
Welcome into the Sports Lab. This is not Kevin Winter. He will not be on air today, just a little bit of a shorter show. Today we got softball coming on later today at 3:30. But it is the Sports Lab. You got Nick Abreu, David Lopez, here on a Friday afternoon, kind of previewing a really long list of Gator sports this weekend. Today, you got to scroll for today's sports. You got track and field. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You got track and field. You got lacrosse's opening day. You got softball. They got a tournament this weekend, doubleheader today actually. And then baseball opening weekend, probably the biggest one of the bunch.
I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. You got in between basketball and baseball because I'm amped up for basketball.
Yeah, I mean that basketball game is obviously going to be huge. But in terms of today, in terms of opening weekend, those Valentine's Day vibes, spending Valentine's Day on the berm, I feel like that's a big deal too.
No, it should be a fun weekend. Opening day for baseball should be awesome. I've been looking forward to it after the disappointing end to last season. I've been itching for Gator baseball to be a little bit better since I've been at school. I feel like in my 4 years, football and baseball have both just gone down the drain. At least we got the basketball natty though. That makes up for it.
Yeah, that's one of those things that we kind of always come back to. The basketball national championship and
makes a lot of suffering worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Football probably the worst 4 years almost of all time in Gator history. Baseball has been a little bit better. They made the World Series that I think our freshman year.
I think so. Our freshman year.
But yeah, now they're opening.
We're super old. We're just dating ourselves.
Yeah.
Right
I mean,
now.
we're almost out of here. We're almost at this point. Opening weekend though. Opening weekend starting tonight. 6:30. They'll be playing against UAB back at the Condron Ballpark. Also, a little bit of news from a couple hours ago. The Sunday game in that series, this 3-game series, got moved to Saturday. So Saturday will be a doubleheader also against UAB. So UAB tonight and then UAB twice tomorrow. But it'll be a tough one. They'll be without Sully. Sully will be serving his 3-game suspension that he got at the regional at the end of last season. So we'll see how that goes. But in general, how excited are you for the start?
Oh, super! I had to pull out the jersey, of course. I mean, a few too many day parties have made this thing a little dirty, but it's still holding up over the years. I love Gator baseball. I love Condron Family Ballpark. It's actually probably my favorite. That and softball, those two stadiums are like just a really nice experience. Other than the amount of money I'm spending on concessions, that's the only issue with Gator baseball. Yeah. But it is super exciting to be back. It should be a better season. I really like the transfer class that Gator baseball brought in. If the pitching is good, the sky's the limit for this team. I know they're coming in ranked 13th, but this is one of the more loaded rosters. Even in an SEC where 11 teams are in the top 25, I think Florida is near the top of that list. The transfer class they brought in, and just it's all about command. If the pitchers show up for the Gators, I think this team could be playing deep into the NCAA tournament and hopefully make it to Omaha this year.
Yeah. Like you said, the SEC in baseball is probably the top you can get, even better than in football.
By far.
Better than basketball this year too, for sure. So the Gators always have that tough schedule, and I think last year we kind of saw how that tough schedule can get to a team like this. The Gators usually near the top of that SEC lineage. But they started off really poor last year.
They were 1-11 in SEC play.
1-11, a historical
Just
drop.
Can't happen.
And then they found a way to kind of claw themselves back into postseason contention near the end of the season. But they got to make sure that they get straight this time. They're without Sully to start, but it's only for 3 games, only against this UAB team. Shouldn't be too big of a loss. But they need to make sure, like you said, that pitching gets strong while they have these non-conference games.
That it's a feeling out period right now. They announced the weekend lineup, starting with Liam Peterson, Aiden King, and Cooper Walls, the transfer.
Yeah,
that's going to be the starting 3 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, I guess Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
But that it looks like a strong lineup. Peterson had a pretty down year last year. He came in really hot as a freshman and had a pretty down season for the Gators last year. Aiden King absolutely came out firing in his freshman season. So they're 2 very talented pitchers. Yet the jury is out on how Cooper Walls would perform in the SEC. By the way, I just want to tell you something based on your talk about SEC dominance. The SEC has won the last 6 national championships.
Ridiculous.
So, I mean, that kind of fares well for the Gators, though. It says that if history serves right, it's going to be an SEC team this year. Hopefully it's the Gators. And again, I mentioned it already. It all comes down to the pitching. The team couldn't throw strikes last year. Plain and simple. Gave up far too many runs, made too many mental errors. Now it's up to the return of Kevin O'Sullivan. Hopefully taking better care of things and not freaking out on anybody in any regionals. But it'll be really fun to see how this team pans out. Obviously, the non-conference schedule, you're not really playing anybody, and when you get into the SEC, it's a different level. But I'm really looking forward to how this pitching staff responds to last year, because they were in the gutter last season.
Yeah, Liam Peterson and Aiden King, both kind of really high expectations for them this season, even after maybe you can call a definitely a disappointing end to last season, but you might even say a disappointing season in general last year. So that they'll be ones to watch. Like you said, King is still pretty young guys coming to the sophomore season. Peterson's just struggled to catch fire in the times that matter. So do you think that pressure, kind of expecting them to be a top 15, top 20 team in college baseball, and their pitching to kind of carry that, do you think that can kind of get to them over that course of the season?
I just think that's SEC baseball and that's Florida baseball as a whole. That's just how kind of it exists. Almost all Gator sports, especially basketball, football, baseball, the expectations are always going to be through the roof. Gator baseball has been a powerhouse for basically since O'Sullivan's been here. So yes, these players are going to be expected to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Preseason All-American awards for Peterson and King by multiple public. I know D1 Baseball had Aiden King as a second-team preseason All-American. Yes, the expectations are going to be high. That's just part of the price you pay for being a Florida Gator. My expectations are going to be high for these guys. I'm really hoping we get an All-American season out. Aiden King, one of my favorite Gators so far. Last year, he was like the shining light of the baseball team. Really hoping for a good performance out of him. Liam Peterson as well. I saw Luke McNeely was doing a live shot at the baseball stadium a couple weeks ago. Talked to him for a little bit. He looks good. He was coming off of injuries, and he'll be the lead guy out of the bullpen for the Gators.
Nice.
So there's a lot of potential and a lot of high hopes. It's definitely going to be a transition period too, because it's a very different looking roster than it was last year. But I'm honestly really excited. I think last year we were around the same range, probably preseason number 12, something like that. And I felt completely differently versus how I see this baseball team. I think the Gators are much more suited for SEC play this time around.
Interesting. So kind of staying with that pitching conversation, Peterson, King are the two guys that you kind of want to hold down this bullpen. But then when you get to that kind of third area, you got the transfer, Cooper Walls from Hawaii. And then you got McNeely, like you were talking about a little bit earlier. What do you see anything in Cooper Wall specifically that gives you kind of confidence in the depth of this team?
Well, I mean, he was Big West Freshman of the Year, or Freshman Pitcher of the Year, excuse me.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how good the level of the Big West is, but at least he was the best in that level. But
if you're gonna get one from there,
he had a pretty decent season, 3.73 ERA, a lot of walks, but also a lot of strikeouts. Very, very standard, kind of what I saw from all the Gators pitchers last year. So hopefully with all of them, they figure out their command, because that was such a big issue last season. And my buddy Hunter DeLauder is currently writing a story on it, just on how much the pitching has struggled, not just this year, but the last two seasons. So that's got to be the complete. Cooper Walls has to show up. They need a Sunday starter. Last year, they did win their last 5 SEC series, but no sweeps. They lost at least one game. So those Saturday and Sunday games usually. So it's a big deal how those pitchers perform. Especially King being the Saturday spot is such a benefit as well to the Gators, because he's not the only guy you can depend on like he was last season. It'll be nice to see if Cooper Walls comes through. It's just that is a pitching staff to be feared if Cooper Walls is as good as he comes as advertised.
Yeah, hopefully he can provide a little bit of relief for those usual starters. We got someone on the line. Byron is on the line. He wants to talk a little bit about the rest of sports this weekend. What are you thinking, Byron? Byron, you there?
No, yes, this is me. You got me, guys?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, they didn't pay me, guys, but I'm going to just start off, guys. Welcome to Gainesville and be Gators, man. It's getting close to the Gator Nationals, guys. So I'm going to just say shout out. If you like sports, guys, you're living in a sports town, Gainesville. Enjoy the Gator Nationals. If you got time, go down there and hear the Daytona 500. But come on, like you say, guys, up here for the softball, man. We got some great softball. These girls are doing good. They've been sweeping JU. And the baseball team, I think they play in Alabama, Birmingham. Yeah, we got a guy that transferred from Hawaii. I'm going to just keep going. You can see get at the end. And Steve Russell did a great interview on him. So we got some good pitching. And Ryan Paul, I think the guy from South Carolina, Coastal Carolina, been talking big about the new catcher, guys. So, hey, the basketball team is doing great, man. Hey, football team coming back. You ain't excited, man?
I hope so, man. I hope so.
And other stuff. Let me just get off here. Happy Friday. Go Gators.
Thank you, Byron.
Man, the energy there is
That
crazy.
was great. You needed that pick-me-up, honestly.
You might expect to see him at every single one of those games I listed at the beginning of this segment.
That is unbelievable.
That is the Florida Gator right there.
He's not wrong, though. We know very well, because we're both way too old and we're about to get out of here. Over the 4 years, you figure out pretty quickly that sports are everything at this school. And they're all usually pretty good. I mean, we have a great gymnastics program, great softball team, a great basketball team right now. Of course, the only sport that's lacking is football. Like that's just my luck, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. DJ Lagway, hopefully the expectations that we saw with DJ Lagway don't fall the same way they do on Liam.
You hear we got people like Byron hyping up the team all season. Of course, the expectations are going to be high. That's what I'm talking about. This fan base amps them up too much.
Expecting a good result from opening weekend for baseball against UAB, even without Coach O'Sullivan. Hopefully they can have a good one. But coming up, we do got another big game this weekend. Basketball has a few familiar faces actually returning to the O-Dome this weekend when they face Kentucky. We'll talk a little bit about that more when we come back. You're listening to the Sports Lab presented by Rally House on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Nevia Baker-Harris. Men's golf is teeing up for the Gators Invitational, which will be right here in Gainesville this weekend. Even though they won their previous tournament, player Matthew Kress believes they shouldn't get complacent since they're at home.
I think it's a little bit harder to prepare for a tournament like that because you're kind of more comfortable than normal, and so you may not always go through the details as much as you would if you're playing a golf course you've never played before. But I've learned in the past years that you can't do that. You got to treat this tournament just like any other tournament.
Tee time is at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. Baseball starts their season tonight against UAB at 6:30. Coverage of the game starts at 6:25 on WRUF. Men's basketball is looking to stay atop the SEC with their game tomorrow. Coverage of the game against Kentucky will start at 2:30 p.m. on WRUF.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
Are you all worked up and working too much? You know what y'all need? Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to have fun. Y'all need some adventure. Why, y'all need Gatorland. How do we know? Ain't no one got more animals, more gators, or more fun than Gatorland. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less with $17.50 admission now through the end of February. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland.
It feels so good to be champions, and the Florida men's basketball team is back to defend their title. Show your pride by gearing up for game day at Rally House. Located at 1680 West University Ave, just across the street from campus, Rally House is your one-stop shop for all your authentically licensed Gator game day gear. Jerseys, hats, t-shirts, their selection is outrageous. 1680 West University Ave, your city, your house, Rally House.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radwear, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
Thornbrook Chocolates, the gourmet chocolates that will take care of you and your Valentine's Day needs. Show your love and appreciation this Valentine's Day with Thornbrook Chocolates. Thornbrook Chocolates. Give, eat, indulge.
You're inside the Sports Lab with Kevin Winter, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Knocked loose from behind by Richard. To Condon. Outlet pass to Richard. Dunks with two hands. Dribbles to his left. Gets to the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang! He got it! Florida's tied the game at 75. Gives to Richard. Richard drives to the rim. Lay it up. Got it! He scores for the lead. 4.8 to go. Right to the other end. Right for a deep straightaway three. Back iron, no good. Chop this one up for the Gators. Clayton down the lane. Got shoved in the back. Lay it in and counted. And it's a foul as well. Possible three-point play for Walter Clayton Jr. Clayton catches, won't shoot against Toppin. Pulls it out, fires for three. Good! He got it from the top of the yard. Condon dives to the deck, grabs it, that's it! That's it! Chop this one up for the Gators! Chop a national championship for Florida!
Goosebumps every time, man. Every time. That
tears, borderline tears.
No, I cried. I legitimately cried my eyes out when we won the national championship last year. Back in the building, Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richard, the national champions, are back for a really big game this weekend. Welcome back to Sports Lab, presented by Rally House. I'm David Lopez, here with Nick Abreu.
Actually, three former Gators national champs coming back.
Who's the third?
Denzel Abolverdi.
He better stay out. He better stay out, man. Denzel Abolverdi making his return to Gainesville later tomorrow when Kentucky takes on the Gators. Number 25 Kentucky, number 14 Florida. Should be a really exciting matchup. I'm hearing people are already camping outside the O-Dome, which is just crazy to me. It's a Friday. Go have a beer, man. We don't need to be doing all that. I wish I could go, but I'll never make it in that line. But it should be a great, great game. I'm super excited for that. I'm really disappointed we haven't beat Kentucky in our last 6 tries, so this needs to be...
Is that true?
Yep, 6 straight losses against Kentucky.
I didn't know that. That's insane.
So this needs to be a standout performance. Todd Golden needs to be on his game tomorrow.
Yeah, you got this one's a little bit different. You got that edge. You got kind of that X coming into the building for this one. So they should be able to break that streak. We'll see. I think Aberdeen's having a pretty good season for Kentucky so far. I think he's averaging second most points on the team. He's averaging 12 points, 3 assists. He's been kind of there, almost kind of what he was for the Gators off the bench last year. He was kind of that flamethrower guy that you bring off the bench. You can kind of get a few threes, be that spark plug. And apparently that's what he's been for Kentucky this season. He's been a very strong player for them. It's going to be a little bit salty coming in. He should kind of
chip on his shoulder for sure.
So it's going to be a dangerous game. I think the Gators come in as an 11.5 point favorite in this game.
Big favorites, but I really don't like that. I feel like that's kind of a trap line. I think Kentucky is a really good basketball team, and they've played a lot better the past few weeks, which is how they're back into the top 25. And I don't think anyone can argue Denzel Abolverdi is a good basketball player. He's a very good basketball player. He just happens to be a massive traitor. Just happens to be a traitor, not a good guy, not someone you want to have a beer with, not someone you want to hang out with on the weekend. Denzel Abolverdi, I don't want to see your face in Gainesville tomorrow. You better stay out. This is my city. No,
I'm interested to see kind of that matchup tomorrow.
It should be really interesting though. I wonder if there's going to be animosity.
I think Todd Golden's been having like a pretty kind of PR answer to everything. But I think in the beginning of the year, you could kind of tell a little bit that it irked him a little bit. So I think there will be at least some animosity. I know. He was talking to Sean Kelly yesterday, and he was saying that he's all good with Aberdeen, but he thinks the crowd might have a different opinion.
Oh, for sure.
So he's egging on the crowd a little bit to get engaged with that. So that'll be fun. But
if they gave it to Bediako, they're gonna give it to Aberdeen. The Rowdy Reptiles are going to absolutely crucify him.
Like you said,
tomorrow.
They're already camped out there.
They're excited for this game specifically. I think that I already don't like Kentucky. I never like, especially in basketball, even in football a little bit. The rivalry's still there, but in basketball especially, I just hate them. I can't stand that.
Which is what makes it worse because well, there's a few things that make it worse because obviously you had Riley Kugel a few years ago on the team. He ended up leaving. He went to Mississippi State, another SEC team, but it's not really that same rivalry as Kentucky. And now you have Denzel Aberdeen, who was one of the main contributors to that national championship team. That adds a layer when he leaves. And he leaves to Kentucky, the other team that's kind of competing with Florida for the SEC this season. So yeah, the bad blood's gonna definitely be there. But I want to see how him and Xavier Lee are guarding.
I hope Xavier fries him.
That's gonna be a fun matchup.
I hope Xavier Lee fries him. I'm really glad Xavier had a good game coming into this one.
Yeah.
So obviously Gators took down Georgia in dominant fashion, 86-66 earlier in the week. Xavier Lee played a really good game. He had 18 points himself. I really think he needs that confidence coming into this because I want him to have 24 on Aberdeen's head. Just give him a poster dunk. Do some. I want all the theatrics tomorrow.
Xavier Lee poster dunk would mean a Gators national championship.
Well, I mean, they're getting closer to it. I think the Gators are pretty much locked in for a spot in the NCAA tournament. They're really doing wonders for their resume right now. This is probably the best the Gators have looked this season, the past few games. There's pretty much nobody in the SEC other than Kentucky, I think, that could catch up with them. So this is kind of, to me, the two best teams, and I think kind of the definitive, where this team will head come the postseason, because you need to know how you perform against the real competition. I think Kentucky has probably the second most talent in the SEC on their roster other than us. So I'm really excited to see the matchup overall and how Todd Golden approaches it, because Kentucky's had a great past couple of weeks. I think they jumped up to 8-3 now in the SEC. They're right behind us in the standings. You can't lose this one. You really can't, because then they're sole possession of number one in the SEC head-to-head wise.
Yeah, this is going to be a big game. I think it's one of those games the Gators have been kind of blowing out their competition recently. I don't think
it'll be like that
tomorrow.
I
think this one will be a lot closer, considering Kentucky's won 8 of their last 9. They're getting hotter. They've actually made some lineup changes with those injuries, and it seemed to have even gotten better with those lineup changes. So I think this is going to be one of those games that might be a little bit tighter, and I think it's important for the Gators to kind of find a way to come out on top in those tight games, because they haven't really been able to make that magic in those tight games this year. Obviously, a lot of those games that were tight,
Missouri,
that they lost,
TCU, UConn,
Duke, a lot of those were in the
list.
beginning of the season, so maybe it's a little bit different now. But I want to be able to see them actually do it now and have some confidence coming into March that if they get into that type of dogfight, they can come out on top.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, I think this game, and then they have a rematch against Kentucky.
Last game of the regular season in March.
And then also that game against Arkansas in next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the games I'm looking at for those types of.
I'm still a little jury's out on Arkansas as a team. I haven't seen them play any comp, especially in the in the non-conference schedule. I know Kentucky definitely did. Kentucky had a really tough non-conference, which is why they have 7 losses this season. Same with Florida, why they have 6 losses. But these teams are a lot better than I think their ranking gives off. I think both of these teams could easily be top 15 if a couple results go a little different. Like you said, the close games, can the Florida Gators do it? But Todd Golden just seems so confident right now. The fact that he doesn't even really give any attention to the Aberdeen issue, which, by the way, I also want to mention, Aberdeen coming back to Gainesville on Valentine's Day after breaking my heart.
It's poetic.
It's so sad. It's so sad. But he is a good basketball player, and Kentucky is going to be a really tough opponent. That game at Rupp Arena at the end of the season on the road, that's going to be probably one of the better games of the SEC slate. But this one should be really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, the O-Dome is going to be absolutely packed.
I'm sure the Gators will see them at some point during the SEC tournament too. So that should be a little bit of a.
Well, the fact that Walt came back, Real Richard came back for this matchup, it shows you how much this means to Todd Golden.
The atmosphere is definitely going to be electric. But
do you think they did it just to kind of spite Aberdeen? Maybe give him.
It is the All-Star break, so I don't.
Oh yeah, true.
We do have a caller on the line.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll take it right now. But
no.
Oh no.
Never mind. We're not taking the caller. Okay, we got to take a quick break real quick. We got we have some changes in the breaks this week with the Olympics and all that. But we will continue to talk basketball. We'll get to your call, Porter, after the break. Oh, never mind. He just left. But if you want to call in 392-8255, 392-8255. We will get to your call after the break. Listen to Sports Lab, Nick Abreu, David Lopez on ESPN WRUF.
Gator baseball returns this February to WRUF.
Hi, this is Dr. Art Mowry of Exceptional Dentistry. Listen to what our clients have to say about their experience at Exceptional Dentistry.
My favorite things about coming here and the whole team is truly just the personable kind of experience. It's not like going to the dentist where you feel like, okay, I'm sitting in a chair and waiting for this kind of sterile procedure. It's more like you come in and they're very gracious and greeting and, oh, let's go check you out, make sure, you're comfortable. And like I said, it doesn't feel like a dentist office. Just look around the surroundings here. It's very comforting. I can't imagine going elsewhere.
This is Dr. Kim Mowry, and if you think you have dental problems that are too big to overcome, we're here for you. Please visit us at exceptionaldentistry.com. That's exceptionaldentistry.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote, 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class, exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Markle with Transmission Doctor and Auto Care in Alachua. Transmission Doctor is a full-service car care facility, from belts and hoses to...
Westwood One Sports presents their special update on the 2026 Winter Games, sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Free 5G phones, great prices, no contracts, straightforward, always. The free skate of the men's figure skating going on. It will end with Ilya Malinin. He went in with an over 5-point lead on Japan's Yuma Kajiyama. Paul Wiley, who won a U.S. silver back in 1992, was asked if there's any chance for an upset.
I hate to say that somebody's a shoo-in, but the thing is, the man simply has not had competition for several years now in the free skate. So I have to say the answer to that question is no. He is going to win.
Malinin has been called the quad god since he had the quadruple axel in last year's Grand Prix. Hasn't tried it in Milan, really no need to. Scotty James, an Australian snowboarder who at age 31 figures he's ready for the gold medal in the halfpipe. He won a bronze in 2018, a silver 4 years ago. He's right now in 6th place. John Stashower, Westwood One Sports.
O'Reilly. Put your tax refund to good use on vehicle maintenance at O'Reilly Auto Parts. From basic maintenance to a major repair, we have the parts and tools to keep your car on the road. Make 2026 your best year yet by investing your tax refund in the vehicle you already own. Stop by your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Stream all of our shows on YouTube. Search WRUF, home of the Gators. Now, back to the Sports Lab with Kevin Winter.
It's not Kevin Winter.
Kevin Winter not in the studio right now, but this is the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. I'm Nick Brew, here with David Lopez, continuing to give you guys the rundown of men's basketball's game against Kentucky, against the traitor Denzel Aberdeen, coming into the O-Dome once again. But we do have a caller on the line. Porter has been waiting for a while. He's been excited to give us a story he has about Kentucky. What do you got, Porter?
Well, first off, before I forget, can you quickly what the she said WRUF for all the games? So are they doing baseball on FM and basketball? I mean, basketball on FM, and do you know yet?
I believe we're going straight to softball at 3:10, and I believe after it might be.
I think baseball. Is that the game's at 6? I think they'll cover that.
I think it might go to baseball after that. Not 100%
Okay,
sure. I'll get back to you on that.
I know tomorrow the basketball's at 3, so that'll be on FM for sure. I just want to know for sure. If you can update us on that. Okay, the story I got to tell you goes back to a perfect time, ties in with the Olympics. Remember, 1980, we had the great Miracle on Ice and so forth. So a couple of years after that, a very popular game in arcades was kind of like foosball, but it was hockey.
Yeah.
You stand on the end and slide. Okay, that was a super popular game, and I for whatever reason, me and a friend of mine loved it. So this is January in '84, and all of a sudden, the Kentucky basketball team walks into Alligator Alley, which was a arcade in the Oaks Mall back in the day, and apparently they had one of these hockey games in their clubhouse or whatever up in. So they were real good at and. 2 little kids beat Melvin Turpin and Sam Bowie, 2 7.
Really?
And they're sitting there, and we beat them in that hockey game, and it was great. And they were rapping. And then, of course, that night, Florida beat Kentucky, upset them 69-57, which I had to look up the score, but I knew we won. But a day that definitely deserves some memory. And they were ribbing these 2 7-foot guys losing to these 2 little high schoolers. But anyhow, go Gators, be safe, man.
Yeah, thank you for that great story, by the way. That was an awesome story.
By the way, we do have your answer. Real quick before you leave on about when these games will air. We're gonna air men's basketball will be at 2:30 tomorrow on 103.7 The Gator only. It will not be on WRUF, but WRUF will air both baseball games tomorrow starting at 1:55. So that's gonna be the schedule for tomorrow.
Okay, sounds. I know they used to do SEC games in Miami and Florida State on RUF FM, but everything else was AM. And then last year they changed that. So I just want to confirm. All right, thanks, guys. Go get it.
Have a good one.
All right, let's get back to that Kentucky talk because I feel like we were kind of getting into a groove, and then this new break system had us going to break in the middle of a conversation.
I hate being cut off. I hate being cut off. But we definitely a lot to talk about just because of the magnitude of this game and the fact that the 2 national champions are coming back. Obviously, the All-Star break helps out, but it's Valentine's Day, Walt's in the building, Kentucky for sole possession of first place in the SEC. This is like everything in one day.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about kind of how Todd Golden's conducted this team this year and how it's almost – I wouldn't say a complete 180, but it's a very different system from last year. And it seems like it might have been something that took a while for them to get used to, but now you can see they're top 5 in KenPom. They're getting up there in the eyes of all these kind of
well, nationally, the attention is completely different. This week versus weeks prior.
Yeah.
Especially after
the
Missouri loss. It seems like
they're finally getting to put together all this defensive identity where they're kind of making their name in the paint and then on those turnovers kind of getting pace going to the defense. So just I want to give credit personally to Todd Golden for being able to make that such a switch after last season. But do you think it's kind of a strategy that can win a national championship? Because everyone always says March Madness is about guard play. You have to be able to shoot those shots. So it's one of those things that this team looks like they have the talent to be able to compete at that level, but will it come to fruition come March?
Well, I think they can absolutely dominate in SEC play the way they are currently playing, just being the physical bruisers, taking advantage of the rebound advantage they're going to have every single game, using points in the paint to just completely run teams off the court, beating them in transition. I think complete kudos to Todd Golden for having now a team top 5 in KenPom versus last season, and they play completely different styles of basketball, which is just super impressive, especially because we have a lot of returners. They completely changed the style of this team, and they're just as good as they were around the same point last year. I won't say they were as good as last year's team. We can't really compare. But to be that highly regarded in the nation, to be this successful in the SEC schedule so far with a completely different style of play is super impressive. I just think when you get to March, absolutely correct. You are going to need really, really strong guard play. You're going to need to hit tough shots when you play a really good defensive team. You're going to need guys like Xavier and Boogie Flan to be stepping up.
Yeah.
Will that happen? Will we get number 99 Xavier in March? Who knows? Will we get Arkansas Boogie Flan in March? Who knows? They're pretty inconsistent, to be honest. The only consistency we know is from the front court. But if Xavier plays like he did against Georgia consistently through the rest of the season, I don't see how this is a national championship contender, one of the 5 or 6 best teams in the country. Once the guard play, if the guard play were to pick up, there's not a team I think that beats Florida.
You're listening to the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. I'm Nick Brew here with David Lopez talking some Gator basketball and their game against Kentucky. I want to talk a little bit about it. We're really close to March. I know you kind of mentioned this, that the guard play needs to pick up.
This year's flying, by the way.
Yeah, the year's almost over, and still sometimes you're still kind of making those comments, mostly maybe about Xavier Lee. He's picked it up recently, but the inconsistencies are still there. So we are a month away. March 15th is Selection Sunday, so that's a month from Sunday. A lot of bracketology from all the major outlets so far. It's a consensus 3 seed for Florida so far in March this year.
Which is fair. It's a fair assessment.
It's a fair spot. A lot of the kind of experts have them playing in Tampa, so that'll be fun. Maybe we'll go really out to that game. So it's looking Tampa,
little Ybor City after the game, maybe.
Yeah, it's looking like there'll be a 3 seed. Do you kind of agree with that?
I think that's a completely accurate spot right now. I also think the AP poll ranking is a very accurate spot, number 14, because if you look at the teams above Florida, the Purdue's, Illinois, Michigan State, all these teams, I think these are a lot of even matchups. And then that obviously upper echelon Michigan, Arizona's that I don't think Florida would beat right now. But I think they're trending in that direction. I think you'll need to see how they perform tomorrow to get a judgment of, is this really a 3 seed? Could this team be better than a 3 seed? I think they'll probably end as a 2 based on how the SEC goes. If they win the SEC regular season title and then follow that up with a SEC tournament title, they could easily end in the top 6 in the country. They could be in contention for a 1 seed. I don't think they'll get it, but it depends on what other teams do as well. But this is a team that's going completely in the right direction at the right time, and they're heating up. 2 weeks left before March. Like, that is exactly what you want from your team. What you want from your coaches. Todd Golden is in a complete flow state right now with this team. He figured out that physicality is going to win us games.
Yeah, I think if you asked me maybe a couple weeks ago, we're
screwed.
I think
we're screwed.
Not even that. Like the team was good even a couple weeks ago, and you knew that they were gonna have some type of run in March. But if you asked me where I thought their ceiling was a couple weeks ago, I probably would have said the Sweet 16. Now I'm looking at that Sweet 16, this team, how they've heated up the last couple weeks, some big wins, some blowouts, and I'm thinking it's Sweet 16 is a realistic area to put them, but I can see this team making it to the Final Four again.
Well, I was having a conversation the other day about what would make this a success as a season. And I told my friend Justin Baxley, I said, there's an Elite Eight and an SEC tournament title could do it for me, but my expectations are higher. Now that I know the peaks that we can reach, my expectations are higher. You're not guaranteed to have another Thomas Houck, Ruben Chinyelu, and Alex Connon on your team at the same time. Yeah. You're not guaranteed to have the depth, the coaching talent that we have. Carlin Hartman, the Bigs coach, might be gone for a head coaching job soon. You're never going to have this moment back, this level of talent. You might not have it next year and the years that follow. My expectations are Final Four. I think that would make it a success. And especially knowing how good this team can be, I just can't see anything less than a Final Four being a win or a success. There's no moral victories in sports anyways. So I want to see my team in another Final Four before I graduate. So that, I think, you know what? Screw it. National championship. That's the only thing I'll accept.
So you're taking the Triple Crown again, right? Regular season championship, SEC tournament championship.
When we beat Georgia, I couldn't believe that it was the first time we had possession of the SEC regular season title since 2014.
That was a wild thing to see too, actually. I couldn't believe that last year there was, but I guess
you know how stacked the SEC was last year.
Alabama was really good last year. Tennessee. Who ended up winning that regular season?
Probably Auburn.
Oh, obviously Auburn. How did I forget Auburn?
But the fact that they won that SEC with the teams that they were playing week in, week out last season, I don't think you can it's completely a failure if they don't win it this time around. In my opinion, the talent in the SEC is completely.
So bare minimum, they need to.
I think you need to win this, especially given your early season losses. If you want to come in as a 2 or 3 seed, you kind of have to win this SEC because it's a lot weaker than it was last year. And I think any committee voter would notice that. We're not playing number 1 Auburn, number 5 Alabama, the Missouri team that was in the NCAA tournament, the Georgia team that was in the NCAA tournament last year. It's a lot weaker. So you need to win out, and then Elite 8, Final 4. I'll take it. But I want to see us win the national championship again, man. That would be unbelievable if we could go back to back.
Yeah, I think in terms of your question, where it's like, what's a successful season this year? I think SEC championship is a given, but I think I want to see this team. I don't know if I need to see them in the Final Four. Obviously you want to get them a back-to-back national championship. Yeah. But I think I'd be happy with the Elite 8 kind of taking on another one of those teams like Arizona, like Houston. That would be a sick rematch. Either one of those games.
I would love to play Houston.
Having a good performance against one of those teams who may or may not be a level above this team right now, I think would be fun. But honestly, I think if this team gets another game against Arizona in that Elite 8 game,
that would be tough. That would be really tough.
It would be tough, but I think this team can beat that Arizona team.
I think we saw it early in the season. Probably the team that played Arizona the toughest this year. Obviously they lost recently, but the first game of the season where this team was not put together whatsoever, still scored 87 points and almost beat Arizona. So, and it was basically a home game.
Cole scored 30 points.
Yeah, and it was basically a home game for Arizona. It was in Nevada. Like we were playing a really tough opponent at the wrong time. I think the way the team has caught fire, I think there's a really good chance. I still think you lose to Arizona and probably also lose to Duke again, but can they beat UConn? I think yes. Can they beat Michigan? I think yes. I think this is a team that can beat any level of competition. It really just depends what version of our guards show up on that given night.
Yeah, and looking at the guards, I think it's an interesting topic to talk about because personally, I feel like what we've gotten from them at this point.
Well, Boogie needs to stop shooting threes. I think that's like.
Yes, but I feel like what we've gotten from them at this point is just what we're gonna get from them the rest of the season. I feel like it's too late to kind of.
Well, we don't know what Xavier will get on any given night, to be fair.
True, he could have like games here and there, but I don't see him coming on as the 3-point shooter he was last year. You can have games like he did against Vanderbilt, like he did against Georgia. But I think it's one of those things that it's too late in the season. You just can't have that expectation that he's gonna magically come up in March and be that every game.
Yeah, it's true. There's just no way. Him and Boogie have been so frustrating given how much money they make, but it's true. You basically have the version of them that you're going to get moving forward.
I don't think it's a bad thing though. I think they give enough defensively. I've actually been very impressed with Xavier's
much better
defense defensively, and then playmaking wise. I think they can still make a run even if Xavier is not shooting as well as maybe you would have liked to when you paid him $2 million instead of Denzel Aberdeen, who'll see you across the court from him tomorrow. But we got to get a quick break in. Coming up, we will talk a little bit. Maybe we might keep going for college basketball a little bit, but we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the college football news. Trinidad Chambliss recently had a big case closed, and then also the Big Ten's proposing a huge expansion to the playoff for the coming seasons. So listen to Sports Lab presented by Rally House. I'm Nick Abreu. He's David Lopez. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Reese Cummings. Men's basketball is looking to stay on top of the SEC this Saturday when they play the Kentucky Wildcats. Xavier Lee feels like the team has come a long way since the beginning of the season.
I think just getting closer off the court too helps with that. Like, we're roommates every away game, so we're both getting more acclimated to offense and what spots we're supposed to be in and spacing and stuff like that. So I think that just comes with playing together for a long time.
Coverage of the game will start at 2:30 on WRUF. In other Gator news, the softball team will be playing 2 doubleheaders over the weekend. Today, they have their first doubleheader taking on Marshall and Georgia Tech. Live coverage for Game 1 starts at 3:10. Florida baseball begins their season tonight against UAB. The Gators will play games 2 and 3 as a doubleheader tomorrow because of weather. Coverage for Game 1 begins at 6:25 on WRUF.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs out of your car.
Valentine's Day, the day and month we all think about love. Steve Russell here. Let me tell you something. I love my car, and I really love the fact I can depend on it day in and day out thanks to my friends at Dave Mays Automotive. You see, Dave Mays Automotive is famous for their bug check. That means anytime you take a vehicle in, they go over it from top to bottom looking for anything that might pop up down the road. This way, there's no surprises, and you could love driving your car. Brakes, tires, oil changes, engine and transmission services at Dave Mays Automotive, they take care of it all, just like they've been doing since 1975. They're at 2905 Northeast 19th Drive, the industrial complex behind the Sunnies on Waldo Road, and online at DaveMaysAutomotive.com. Dave Mays Automotive, they get the bugs out.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs, all of them bugs, out of your car.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-464-0827 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-464-0827. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Hi, Frankie Lane from Lane's Yardware in Williston. We know what it means to serve. All veterans are the real American heroes of our great nation. We will always offer discounts for our veterans on any American-made Gravely zero-turn mowers we sell. At Lane's Yardware, we salute our American veterans and the American flag every day. Thank you for your service. Lane's Yardware, located in Williston and on the web at lanesyardware.com.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Staying comfortable this evening, overnight mostly clear skies and lows cooling to just about the 50-degree mark to start off our Saturday. Mostly sunny early tomorrow with increasing clouds during the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s will cool to 60 for our Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies and an increased chance for passing showers and thunderstorms, especially Sunday evening into early Monday morning. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You've entered the Sports Lab with Kevin Winter, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
What a song pull, by the way. Great entrance into this. Welcome back to the Sports Lab, presented by Rally House. I'm David Lopez, here with Nick Abreu. We were just talking Gator basketball. We're moving into college football as a whole. What is going on with this Chambliss case? Like, this is the most embarrassing thing ever, other than Bediako. That one was the worst. But this is, like, embarrassing. Trinidad Chambliss, if you guys didn't know, was given granted eligibility by a judge, or, like, they waived the NCAA ruling so he can play a 6th year in college football. He'll be able to come back to Ole Miss, which I think is just unbelievable. What should the rule even be now?
It's an interesting situation because what the whole court case was about was Chambliss was arguing that he should be given another year of eligibility because at Ferris State, the D2 school he was at before Ole Miss, he didn't play a single play in 2022. And apparently he had like tonsillitis or something and had his tonsils taken out. So he was using that, kind of almost claiming a medical red shirt for that season. So it is an interesting argument, and I'm not sure how to feel about it, but just the fact that you can I think it's more on the NCAA. I think it's embarrassing for the NCAA that all these kind of loopholes are coming around eligibility in the age of NIL. Like we saw with Bediako, I think that's the worst because he signed a pro contract. I think this is a little bit different.
Well, think about Amari Bailey is asking for his eligibility back. He played 10 games in the NBA.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's embarrassing that the NCAA has tried to put their foot down so many times, but there's no actual rules that mean anything that they can say with this new era of college sports. So now you have guys that are coming back for their 6th season, whether it was deserved or not. It's not me to say that, but I'm not as mad at the fact that he's coming back to college football as the fact that the NCAA needs to get their stuff together and kind of fix this mess.
Yeah. I'm sure if you look into every little white line and try to understand why it was ruled the way that it was, I'm sure it makes sense in some kind of way. I'm sure that he could have earned a medical red shirt and that it's fine for him to play a 6-year. But it's not just the case individually. Yeah. It's the fact that there's a wave of players now going to courts to argue about their eligibility. Yeah. I'm like, how are you suing the league that you play for? That's confusing enough to me. And the fact that we have guys who are now going to be 24, 25 years old. I mean, we saw the Indiana team that just won the national championship was mostly made up of 23, 24-year-olds.
Yeah, I believe, not 100% sure in all the details of the case, but I believe he was, same way that Bediako was, he was granted an injunction. So this case will continue to move forward.
I was going to say, is this like where the NCAA might bring it back and he might get banned again?
The case will move forward into the season. So as of now, Chambliss has been granted eligibility to start the season with Ole Miss. But the case is going to keep going. The NCAA can come back and appeal that decision, but they can't stop him from playing immediately. So I guess it's possible we see kind of what we're seeing with Bediako, where I don't know if mid-season he could maybe just that eligibility be taken away. I don't know. It's a mess.
There's just too much going on in the sport as a whole. I mean, we've seen the transition from what college sports was pre-2021 NIL ruling to where it is now, which it's two completely different issues, but they're both affecting it's like a pro sports league now. Like the NCAA has to figure out, how are we going to allow guys? I think, honestly, the best rule you could have is 5 years to play for. I feel like people have talked about a lot online. You have 5 years to play for. That includes a redshirt year, a medical redshirt year. But once you're 24 years old, you're playing against 19-year-olds coming into the college. Not only does it make high school recruiting practically useless, but it also just adds this element of we have to basically unionize this because it's a pro league. You got to start paying these guys in real contract. You saw over the offseason when all the football players were re-signing, they're signing new contracts.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had contracts.
Yeah, that's crazy. The fact that the Mensa thing was another one.
My gosh.
How he found a way to get out of that contract and Duke didn't want to let him go. It's practically pro sport.
It is. And now you have so much money around it as a whole, and we'll talk about this a little bit more probably after the break, but talking about the expansion of the sport and the college football playoff. SEC wants 16 teams. Big Ten wants 24 teams.
Yeah, and this is something that they want to implement as early as next season. That 16-team format, the SEC is pulling that for the next 2 years, starting in 2027.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to think about it. Because I grew up loving this sport. I grew up just because of being getting into UF and becoming more into Gator football, and just I loved college sports as a whole and how the history of it. Yeah. But seeing where it's at now is really, really scary. But I think this redshirt eligibility stuff is probably the first priority. I think you can't have 6th, 7th, 8th. I had to do the 6, 7 one. I'm sorry, but you can't just have these guys at 24 years old playing. But on the other side of the break, we'll talk about that expansion, what the Big Ten wants, what the SEC wants. 24 teams in the playoff. The season's going to end.
It's March Madness.
The season's going to end in March, dude.
Yeah, ridiculous.
We'll talk about that more soon. On the other side of this break, you're listening to the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. I'm David Lopez here with Nick Abreu. We'll be back soon.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to newsmaxplus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to newsmaxplus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
It feels so good to be champions, and the Florida men's basketball team is back to defend their title. Show your pride by gearing up for game day at Rally House. Located at 1680 West University Ave, just across the street from campus, Rally House is your one-stop shop for all your authentically licensed Gator game day gear. Jerseys, hats, t-shirts, their selection is outrageous. 1680 West University Ave. Your city, your house, Rally House.
Thornbrook Chocolates, the gourmet chocolates that will take care of you and your Valentine's Day needs. Show your love and appreciation this Valentine's Day with Thornbrook Chocolates.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games. Johannes Haslet Klæbo, the Norwegian cross-country sensation, today won the gold medal in the 10,000-meter free. Over the last 2 Winter Games, 8 gold medals. 1 more in Italy. He'll have the most ever. 3 more next week. He'll have 6 in these games, breaking the record of 5 shared by Klæbo from 4 years ago and Eric Heiden in 1980. No U.S. medals yet today. There's never been one in the men's biathlon. In the 10,000 sprint, there was hope for Campbell Wright. Actually grew up in New Zealand, but competes for the U.S. He was second at the World Championships, but he was 12th today. Speed skate in the 10,000 meters was won by 19-year-old Metsoja Jelic of the Czech Republic, and the bronze went to 40-year-old Jorrit Bergsma, the Dutch skater who won the gold 12 years ago. Currently, the U.S. men lost to Canada 6-3. The women beat Canada 9-8. John Stanschauer, Westwood One Sports.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251 CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. It's the Sports Lab, presented by Rally House Gainesville, your one-stop shop for all your officially licensed game day apparel, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and on the WRUF mobile app.
Welcome in. Kind of hour 2 of the Sports Lab. We're resetting here at the top of the hour. Nick Abreu here with David Lopez on the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. We are going to get you ready for softball, their opening match in the Florida Classic this weekend. They're hosting a tournament this weekend. FIU is playing Georgia Tech on that same field before the Gators get set to play against Marshall. FIU Georgia Tech is currently at the end of the 6th inning, so they have one more inning. It is a close game, though. Possible it could go a little longer, so we will take you up until that softball game starts. But also after softball later tonight, you can stay in tuned here for baseball later tonight, baseball opening game against UAB. And then tomorrow the schedule is going to look like men's basketball versus Kentucky will start coverage at 2:30 only on 103.7 The Gator, so you can listen in on 103.7 Gator to catch the game against Kentucky. And then later on WRUF, both baseball games will be aired starting at 1:55 for that doubleheader tomorrow. So we got a good slate for you guys. But we wanted to get back into a little bit of basketball before we get you guys to some softball. Obviously, big game against Kentucky coming up. Todd Golden actually spoke to the media a few hours ago, kind of previewing that game against Kentucky. He had a lot to say, so let's just listen into what he had to say for a few minutes.
Denzel gets for this, you had to know it was coming, right? I mean, you guys gonna take a moment to exchange pleasantries before you go about trying to beat him?
You know me well enough to know like we are treating this game like any other game. So happy he's doing really well, and obviously he's helped their team quite a bit get right over these last couple months and put them in a position where they're competing. And for us, like I said, just another game tomorrow, and don't anticipate it being an issue or distraction for us.
Kind of like you guys. Media folks like us, we got our hot takes in December, and season keeps going.
Right.
What's changed for them? Because they were dead and buried a little like you guys were.
Yeah, I think, sometimes, things happen that you can't control, and at times you think they might be negatives, but they turn into positives, and I think that's something, that's happened with them. I think the injuries have helped them a lot. In terms of figuring out, rotations and role allocation and guys getting comfortable. They were trying to play a lot of guys. They were not playing very many consistent lineups, and I think, it led to them being inconsistent. And, with Quainton's low and Williams all out of the way, they're playing 9 now, and they all know their role. They all know how much they're playing, and I think it's kind of calmed them and made all those guys play a lot more comfortably.
I think it's helped Ortega. I mean, don't want to. Jalen Lowe's a good player, but they've been able to kind of get Ortega in the ball screen, get him downhill a lot more, play him on the ball more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, if that was necessarily why they weren't able to do it before or why it wasn't happening very often. But playing with Zell and with Ortega as the primary playmakers and ball handlers has definitely been a benefit for them. And, Jasper's coming in off the bench, trying to make plays, but those two guys are their main, high usage guys in the starting lineup, and both those guys are playing really, really well right now.
In terms of skill set, how different is Denzel compared to what he was a year ago, if he's different at all?
I think he's a pretty similar player. He's doing well, shooting the ball really well right now. But he always valued the basketball pretty well, and had a solid mid-range game. But I think the area that he's been kind of taking his game up a notch this year is the way he's shooting the ball, both off the catch and off the bounce. He's been really lethal in league play.
Just how effective they are, from long range. 3-point defense is always critical for you guys, but especially coming into this game, just how paramount do you think that is to, keeping Ortega and Denzel from getting their licks and being able to knock down long range ones?
Yeah, Chandler's the one also, that we got to be really mindful of. He shot the ball really well in league play, made the most threes for him, and he'll shoot them from anywhere. He's willing to shoot them from like 25, 26 feet. So he's going to be a big mental toughness cover tomorrow. Ortega and Zell can hurt you different ways, so you got to be mindful of, being too thoughtful, running them off the line. But we got to do a great job not letting them get good ones. I think that's going to be a key against those guys, and no threes for Chandler.
We've talked to you a lot about bench production, just how big that was for you, especially the other night. Just what have you seen from behind the scenes about how Urban and Isaiah especially have been able to just stay ready, even not knowing what their role is going to be on a given night?
They know what their role is going to be. I don't think there's any confusion on that. I think early on in the year, one of the kind of unintended consequences of playing a tough schedule is, we lost a couple games, and it made us kind of question whether, we had the right rotations, and it took us a little bit to get comfortable. Obviously in December, played a lighter schedule, got some wins stacked up and kind of started getting felt like we were getting in a rhythm. And then, clearly in league play, we have a really good rotation set and we got a good thing going on. But there is no doubt that Irby, Zay, and Micah playing really well has allowed us to kind of take that next step as a team and be able to be consistent the way we have over the last month.
What'd you see out of just some of Alex's turnovers the other night? Just 7 turnovers, obviously not a number you're looking for, but you've used the word fluky before. I mean, just what'd you see about his decision making and just kind of how they doubled him and forced him into some errant decisions?
Yeah, I thought a couple of them were fluky. I thought a couple of them were just trying to make trying to hit a triple as opposed to hitting a single, like giving you a baseball analogy there. Just keeping it simple. He pressed a little bit. We were trying to be aggressive, taking advantage of the double team. So a little bit was on me because I was asking him to try to make, some aggressive plays. But, he's generally fantastic with the ball, and it's not something that I'm concerned about moving forward.
Going back to Isaiah, how about his three-point shooting from the other night? Just how much can that be a catalyst for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, he shot the ball great, all league play, and it's been huge for us. I think Zay's, it's tricky. When he comes in the game, guarding, how you want to guard him is tricky because he's a guy that is, clearly shown that he's capable of making an open catch and shoot three. But when you close out on him driving a closeout is not fun to do defensively. He's fantastic that way. And so I think you got to kind of pick your poison and, do you want to give him space or do you want to make sure you take away the three? But if you let him get downhill, you're not stopping him. He's really good that way. So his ability to be consistent shooting the ball has allowed, him to be this effective. And I think more than anything, he is playing with a lot of confidence and with a lot of intelligence. He's out there making the right decisions every time he's touching the ball, and his play has been a big lift for us for sure.
Todd Golden speaking to the media earlier today, previewing that game tomorrow, big one at the O-Dome against Kentucky. One of the things that it seemed like the media and Golden really wanted to focus on in that conversation was how important the bench has been in this past month stretch and how that's taken this team to the next level. Urban Klavzar, Micah Hand, Logton, Isaiah Brown being the main guys off the bench. What do you think they kind of add to this team?
Isaiah's been one of the most impressive recently. Yeah. In his very limited role, he's been really, really effective. And I saw a tweet. It's he kind of reminds me of Thomas Houck in 2023 or 2024 when he was coming up as a player, and he kind of just got used as a Swiss Army knife off the bench, a utility guy. And he plays that role so well. Isaiah Brown's been really impressive. Urban, I saw as well today. He's has the best true shooting percentage in the SEC this season at 67.6. Oh, wow, I said it again. So at 67.6%, and he's shooting 41% from three. So if you're off the bench 3-point specialist is shooting 41%, you're in a pretty good place. And I've always loved Micah. I think he's a great player. In the role that he has, not a very good offensive player, but all those bench guys are so important to how this team operates because, like we said, our guard play has been letting us down. So having Urban and Isaiah Brown come off the bench, give that spark is great. And then Micah just shores up that unit that is so good at rebounding. And the fact that he accepted that, taking that role, taking a step back and letting Ruben and Alex take the reins in the front court, just as impressive as a player to be able to say, this is not, my team. You guys are going to take this team that way. And that's why Florida has been so good. I feel like this is such a cohesive unit, such a good basketball team overall, and led by a guy who makes me feel so safe. Is it weird if I say Todd Golden makes me feel safe? Safe. He just I when he's speaking,
I know what you mean though.
When he's talking, I just feel comfortable.
Okay, that's not what I thought you meant.
But he's just such it's so self-assured in the level of this basketball team.
Confident.
He's so confident, and the way he approached when we played Alabama, talking about we're going to beat them anyways. When he approaches teams like Georgia that we lost to on the road last year and putting up that kind of performance that we did last week, he makes me feel safe. That's just the only word I could use for it.
Hey, Todd Golden, I guess his voice is just soothing to some of us. I don't know if I see it, but I definitely do have confidence in Todd Golden to build this basketball team and to come up with a win on Saturday against Kentucky. I want to talk about that bench a little bit more before we have to go to a break. Softball, we have that coming up to you soon. They're still in the last inning. FIU actually just took the lead over Georgia Tech in the final inning.
Great game. Georgia Tech was up 5-0 on FIU in the third inning, and FIU's come all the way back to take the lead.
Wow.
So this is actually a really good song. I might just turn it on. You guys want to listen to this instead? No.
So you guys will have us on until that game concludes and we get some Florida softball action. But going back to basketball, Urban Klavzar, like you said, has been the guy off the bench for the Gators. And there's some games where Todd's calling his name for an extended period of time. He's getting 15 minutes, maybe even more than 20 minutes in some of these games. So he's been a big part of the team, almost like a sixth starter on this unit, especially when you need some of that shooting that the starting guards may not be able to provide in a pinch. So I think his role is one of those that is really underrated on this team, and I think he's one of those unsung heroes that is going to have to be a difference maker in some of these big games. I think even we saw in that Duke game, he hit some big shots.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I want to see from him.
Well, he's going to be a March
in the rest
guy.
of the season.
He's going to be one of those. You look back in like 8 years and you're watching a TikTok. It's like, who remembers
2026 Urban Klavzar?
Does anyone remember how good 2026 Urban Klavzar was? Because he is really that good as a bench player. I think when it comes to March, you're going to need guys like that to be at their game. You think about the teams that go deep. We had Aberdeen last year. Now Urban needs to kind of step into that same role. And I think back on that Auburn game that we lost earlier this year when they were down about 15, 20 points early on in the second half. Xavier Lee didn't play another minute at the 15-minute mark, and Urban played the rest of that half, which kind of tells you a little bit something about where Golden's head is at, about when his guards are struggling, and I mean like struggling, and they need to be pulled out of the game. Urban is the guy you turn to, and you can get 15 really, really solid minutes out of him. Defensively, he leaves a little to be desired, but a very effective basketball player who last year was like barely even touched the court. So to see this kind of growth, it shows the development, the development skills that Todd Golden has, seeing the way Chinyelu has developed. Like, I think every single player that returned is leaps and bounds better than they were last year. Every guy on this team, other than Alex Condon.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
A small little dig, but yeah, I think the way Urban's, I think his defense isn't good, but I think it's definitely improved. It was almost unplayable last year, and also his ability to get to the rim has
way
been
better. I didn't expect that at all.
That's been something that's been a really good surprise from that perspective. But
He's the new Denzel. I hope Denzel knows he's been replaced.
We'll see what he has to say about that on Saturday. But we do got to get to a break before softball comes up. It should be coming up soon. FIU has the lead at the top of the seventh inning over Georgia Tech. Getting you ready before we'll carry Gators softball. But until then, we'll maybe get a little bit of back to some college football action in some of that new playoff format when we get on the other side of the break. You're listening to Sports Lab presented by Rally House on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM.
Hey everybody, it's Steve Russell. You know, Valentine's Day's almost here, and I recommend you go to the best florist in town, my favorite, Floral Expressions Florist. Scott and his gang are the best at what they do, from roses or mixed bouquets, blooming plants, plus other gifts you'll love, like scented candles and gourmet popcorn. They deliver, too. They make it so easy, and you're the one who'll score the points. Call them at 352-375-1234 or shop online now at floralexpressionsflorist.com. You'll be glad you did.
It feels so good to be champions, and the Florida men's basketball team is back to defend their title. Show your pride by gearing up for game day at Rally House. Located at 1680 West University Ave, just across the street from campus, Rally House is your one-stop shop for all your authentically licensed Gator game day gear. Jerseys, hats, t-shirts, their selection is outrageous. 1680 West University Ave, your city, your house, Rally House.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Markle with Transmission Doctor and Auto Care in Alachua. Transmission Doctor is a full-service car care facility, from belts and hoses to major mechanical repairs, including manufacturer's recommended maintenance. If you have car repairs you've been putting off or scheduled maintenance due on your vehicle, give us a call and one of our friendly service advisors will be glad to schedule you an appointment. Located directly behind Radiant Credit Union, just off Highway 441 in Alachua. Transmission Doctor, exceeding expectations in automotive care.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.
Welcome back to the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. I'm David Lopez here with Nick Abreu. We're just talking Gator basketball. We want to move a little bit into college football, though. The expanded playoff, which is already up to 12 teams. And now they're looking to expand it again. I was already going on Old Man Yells at Cloud rant about college football earlier, but I think I could go on for days and days about how much worse this is than even the 4-team playoff. And then thinking back to when there was just a straight national championship, the Big Ten proposing a 24-team playoff where there'd be no conference championships, which I think is just absurd. I mean, imagine at the end of the season, you don't know who the SEC champion is or the Big Ten champion.
Yeah.
You never have Tebow beating Alabama in the SEC championship in 2008. Imagine you never had those moments because you want to have, I don't know, Bowling Green in the playoff as a group of 5 champion. Like I can't get over like how much worse the sport is having games like that. We saw Tulane and James Madison get blown out of the water against actual teams that actually deserve to be there. But if we're going to keep expanding, we're going to see more and more blowouts. We're not going to see a good quality product on the field, I think. Just because Notre Dame didn't get into the playoff, like what are we even striving for now in the sport?
Yeah, it's interesting. So like the full details of this plan that came out from ESPN this morning. Apparently, what's going around is the SEC wants to go to 16 teams. They're ready to have that plan ready for this upcoming season and the season after that. And the Big Ten is interested in expanding. They're down with the SEC to make it 16 teams, which, I mean, when those two conferences want something, they're probably going to get it in college football.
Yeah.
But the caveat that the Big Ten wants is they want, after those 2 seasons where the 16-team format would be implemented, then the 24-team format would be implemented. So that would be implemented in the 2029 playoffs. And how that would look like is it would be the top 23 ranked teams and then 1 team from the group of 5. So the highest team from group of 5.
I'm gonna pull up.
So it'd be quite a bit.
Let me try to pull up the top 24 team.
Right,
yeah, like I don't think you understand how bad that would have looked if you had like any of the top 8 teams play anybody in the back half of that. Of like number 20, let's have Navy. Let's have Navy go on the road and play a game against Indiana. And like these are all blowouts. You see TCU, Virginia, Iowa, Tulane, James Madison, USC. Did any of these teams deserve to be in a playoff?
Yeah, that's one of the big aspects, and it's a complaint that people even had in 12-team format. So imagine extending it to double of that, but also just
you have teams with 4 losses in the playoff. I think that's absurd. I think that's crazy.
I mean, maybe the Gators would have a chance of getting in.
If that would be the only redeeming quality, I don't even think they'd get a home playoff game. They'd be on the road playing somebody, but at least the Gators can say they would make the playoffs one of these years.
That is another thing that I did forget to mention about that new 24-team format. How the games would work. The second round games would be on-campus games. So say the Gators made it to the second round and they were the higher seed in that second round game in the 24-team playoff, there would be a game in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, which that part's kind of cool. That'd be kind of hype, but like you said, it probably wouldn't be a super exciting game. And also the other thing that kind of, for me, takes away from it is it just completely eliminates any tradition in college football.
Well, I think we're already losing that with players in their 7th year playing on the national championship winning team. Like, tradition is just out the window. Players are making $4 million to come back to the team that they're already on. I don't think I've seen any of these football players like actually do an exam their 4 years of college. They're not student athletes anymore. They're just athletes, and they're pro athletes at that. So it's a completely different landscape. I'm not surprised by anything anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 50-team playoff in the future. There's going to be a March Madness bracket with all the football teams.
It's looking like it might get to that point. But yeah, the fact that there's not going to be conference championships at all, these playoff games would start on Army-Navy week.
Yeah, exactly. I like them having their own weekend. It's like it's quirky, it's unique. There's so many little things in the sport that are just getting axed that make the sport what it is, and I'm not a fan.
And I understand that a lot of these teams are kind of opting out almost of these, whether it's the bowl games.
Well, think about that too. Bowl games.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even matter.
Bowl games already don't matter, I feel like, but yeah, they'd be almost non-existent in the 2014 playoff. But I know that people are already not really wanting to. They're cautious with these conference championship games because you see teams like Alabama go to the conference championship game and get absolutely blown out of the water. But I don't think they should be eliminated. Like those are major ties in the sport, and I think one of the reasons that the SEC isn't really down for that 2014 playoff is because they don't want to get rid of that SEC championship game. They would lose money getting rid of the SEC championship game
and having more teams in the playoff.
More teams in the playoff.
Right. Well, we'll talk with John really quick about the playoffs. So I want to hear what he has to say.
Welcome to the Sports Lab.
Yeah, it's JB.
JB, gotcha.
Yeah, listen. Is when it comes to anything that the Big Ten wants, they're relative. I mean, how many of those teams have ever been relevant? Maybe a couple. I mean, you got Penn State, right? You got Indiana now, but just now they're relevant. Okay, so now they come in and they want to. They think that now it's we got a couple of teams that are relevant, and they're going to start dictating to conferences that have won more national championships than they've even played in. So I think it's rather ridiculous to even give them the time of day on that. They don't even have. Again, it's all about relevancy, and they have no relevancy when it comes to a conference championship. Whereas the ACC, the SEC, more so than any other conference.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of where their motivation comes from. Because, like I was telling you, the SEC doesn't want to do this 2014 format because their SEC championship makes more money than a lot of the playoff games. The Big Ten, you don't really have that problem, and also the Big Ten with this expanded format, you might get teams on the lower end of the Big Ten. Maybe becoming relevant. You might get those Illinois, those Iowas in there.
But I will say, to play devil's advocate here, they have won the last 3 national championships. So if there's anybody that's going to speak on the direction of the sport, the Michigan, Ohio State, and now Indiana, all through back to back. So if there's anyone who can speak on where the sport should head, it would seem like the Big Ten has a pretty good say in it.
Well, three, as opposed to the SEC. How many in the last 20 years? How many national championships has the Big Ten won, and how many have the SEC won?
It's a fair point.
I don't know the exact numbers, but I bet you my car payment tomorrow that there's a lot more SEC championships than there are Big Ten championships in college football.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the SEC definitely has been the powerhouse for the majority of the history of the sport. But right now, what we were just talking about it. The sport looks completely differently than it did even 10 years ago, man. So who knows who's going to make the decisions if the Big Ten is going to have a bigger say over SEC schools in whether they expand the playoff or whether they change this or that. Maybe we'll have to let you go, but appreciate your time.
Thanks, JB. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation because it seems like kind of like what he was saying. Like this 2014 format would only benefit the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of agree with that, which is why I think it won't happen. But it does seem like there will be some expansion which is interesting. Like
I just don't know why. I can't fathom why you'd want more teams that really don't deserve to be on the field, because I thought that when they saw the product of the group of 5 teams this past year and the year before that they would kind of like slow down and realize that, you're letting in teams that really aren't meriting that spot. But it seems like the opposite. We're going to have a lot of schools that have no business, 4-loss, 5-loss teams in the college football playoff. Like, there needs to be some prestige to it. You can't lose 4 games in your conference schedule. And then especially now, we're going to 9 conference games in the SEC. Think about how many teams are losing from that already, that you have to play 9 SEC opponents throughout the season. I'm like, my head's all over the place about what the sport is headed. But I think I would like to see the Gators in the playoff, and I think their best chances in a 24 team, to be honest. I don't think they could be one of the top 12 teams next season.
Yeah, and then also like I was saying earlier, the Big 12 or the Big 10, they might have they're very top heavy. So they're trying to get a lot of these teams on the lower end of the Big 10, or not lower end, but kind of those middle teams like Illinois, like Iowa.
Michigan would have made the playoff last year.
Yeah, something like that. So it's kind of just like a desperate grab to try to make some of those teams more relevant. But turns out Gators softball is coming up soon. FIU
pulled it off. They pulled it off.
They end up pulling it out against Georgia Tech, 6-5 final. Gators softball will be on coming up, the pregame show, and then the first pitch will be at 3:55. We went a little bit long to keep you guys entertained until that softball game. But it's been a fun time, David.
It's been a lot of fun.
A big weekend, a lot to talk about. So
I'm surprised we didn't touch more on Gator softball, though. They're number 5 in the country. I just did a live shot from their stadium a couple days ago, and I realized the night before they had beaten Jacksonville 20-0.
Yeah, I think they had like 14 runs or something.
14 runs in 1 inning, which is like unbelievable.
Yeah, they're gross. They started their season 7-0. Now they're hosting a tournament here in Gainesville where they'll have 5 games this weekend. So they'll start today against Marshall, coming up first pitch at 3:55. So yeah, we'll get to that just in a second. Thank you guys for listening to the Sports Labs presented by Rally House. I've had a good time here on the Sports Lab. We'll get back to you guys starting on Monday, but stay tuned for Gator softball.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators basketball, right here on WRUF.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip, or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
Are you all worked up and working too much? You know what y'all need? Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to have fun. Y'all need some adventure. Why, y'all need Gatorland. How do we know? Ain't no one got more animals, more gators, or more fun than Gatorland. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less, with $17.50 admission, now through the end of February. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland.
It feels so good to be champions, and the Florida men's basketball team is back to defend their title. Show your pride by gearing up for game day at Rally House. Located at 1680 West University Ave, just across the street from campus, Rally House is your one-stop shop for all your authentically licensed Gator game day gear. Jerseys, hats, t-shirts, their selection is outrageous. 1680 West University Ave, your city, your house, Rally House.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your